not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer. Have we been muted the whole time?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Okay, let's start over.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Sorry about that. We're excited to get started. So let's start over.
All right. All right, let's start over.
The verse. Hold on, the verse. Sorry about that, you guys. Our verse is 2 Corinthians 12:20. For I'm afraid that when I come, I may not find you as I want you to be, and you may not find me as you want me to be. I fear that there may be discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, slander, gossip, arrogance, and disorder. That's 2 Corinthians 12:20, and we'll pray. Lord, we don't mind praising you at all again. You're amazing. Your miracles are amazing. They happen every single day in little ways and in big ways. We thank you. We thank you for the grace that you give to us. We thank you that you forgive us when we fail you. We thank you for the people you surround us with. And we thank you for allowing us to be on this path with you. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. We have 4 Facebook pages. Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas. The Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Sons Center and Database. The Lead Tracker E page, which has just been freed up from being hobbled. And the Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warriors Path page. So we invite you to join all of those. And also 2 YouTube channels, this one and the Lead Tracker E YouTube channel. Subscribe to that one too. And what else?
I'm trying to find that one photo.
Let's see. We have a DVD, also by the same name, Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas.
Let me get back in the ball game here. I'll get that one later.
Okay.
If not, we still got another backup.
Go ahead.
The Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch DVD is $101. You can get that through CASHAPP through the description below. That's a video that we did ourselves, a documentary of places and hides and blinds and ambush areas that will show you where they are, where to look for them, and that no one should be going into these things unprepared. But we went into these places to show you what's out there, and that's all in the Bigfoot documentary. And also it does have Predator Bigfoots in there and photos as well. The new book, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path, that's on Amazon now, and that's they lowered the price so cheap it's almost free. So now there's no excuse not to get your book.
Great time to get it and to get it for someone else.
Yeah, and we just had someone tell us today that they gave their book away to someone who needed it, and they're going to buy them another one, but they knew somebody needed it, so they gave theirs to them.
Thank you for doing that.
And we want to thank you for doing that. It's good to share the information, and if you can help another one out by purchasing a book or and sharing it with them, that also helps out the trackers. And
we have a series over on the Lead Tracker E page called Tracking Miracles and Encounters. And we would love to share your stories of miraculous things. Everyone that's here is either a tracker or interested in being a tracker. And really, we won't limit it to that. If you just have a miraculous story about God, we can talk about that too. You don't even have to be a tracker. We just want to glorify God and talk about his miracles. We're surrounded by so much negativity. We want to talk about the great things that he does for us, either through divine intervention or divine orchestration. So get a hold of us, and if you have a story that you want to share, let us know. We're working on some guests for that. We also have the Standing Feather Stories, which I believe we're going to move off of this channel and onto the Lead Tracker E channel. And do we have a cover for that one?
Which one is that?
Standing Feather Stories.
Oh, yes.
And that's the Jerry Lee Horse Williams.
There we
go. The stories of his travels, his journeys, and he was the last man standing at Standing Rock, for those of you that are new to the channel. and it's some important times in history that he was a part of that the rest of us didn't see because it was behind the scenes. Some of them are exciting and some of them are terrible, but still need to be known, and they're interesting stories, and they're a part of the history and a part of his native history. And so we invite you to look for those. There's already a playlist started on this channel, and I believe also over on the Lead Tracker E channel. If not, we'll get them on both. Check those out and set your alerts for this channel and the others so that you don't miss any. What else? The Spanish version of the book. We have a Spanish version of this book, a Spanish translation.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. He's also loading photos while I'm doing the announcements. This is the cover of the Spanish translation of the book that we will be putting out. I will let him do the pronunciation.
Es Pie Grande el Depredador y el Sendero del Guerrera Espiritual.
And I really need to practice it. And we would like to thank CT and CT holler at us. Not about the translation, but just to let us know how you're doing. We just want to hear from you and check on you, make sure you're doing all right.
Yeah,
we'd also like to thank Tanya and Jose from Oklahoma Adventures for also helping to translate that book. We're excited to get that out soon. And then we also have our newest book that we're working on that will be out soon, and it's called Vessels of Hope versus Agents of Darkness, and that goes a lot more deeply into the things that we wanted to delve into in the first book, and further along in the spiritual warfare path, more depth, more details. So we're excited to get that book out as well.
Yeah, you're gonna really enjoy this one. The first book, Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. If you have this book, you know how important it is. And like we said, it's basically free right now if you go to Amazon.
And it's not really free.
It's not really free, but it is.
But you get a great discount right now.
I think $10 cheaper than what we
almost
$10 cheaper than what the original price was. So that's Amazon wants it sold, seems to be, because they just don't care.
So do we.
We do too, but we hate that the prices. I mean, we love that the price dropped for everyone else, but that kind of lowered our thing, and so we don't understand why they did that. But
we'll pray God's got a reason, and that it'll just get out into more hands. So if you can be a part of helping with that, and if you have it, please go put in a review for us. We're very, very proud of the reviews that are in there, but the more that we have, the more people are likely to see that book and find it. Our post office box is 655 Antlers, Oklahoma, 74523 if anyone wishes to write to us.
Where are we at? Okay.
Other contact information is in the description box.
Let's get just one thing.
What else? You can other ways to support the channel and become a Patreon member. There's no minimum fee for that. We also on there for Patreon members, we give updates, meetings, courses, videos, live tracks, and you will get your information a little faster. We have Cash App and PayPal. They're in the description box. We use that we take care of ourselves, but we use that certain amount of money to go and help people if we can't afford to get to them, to go literally help them beat back the brush and identify the predators. This is people that are actually in current danger and having predatory activity at their homes. So if you can go back and look at our other live streams and see what we do exactly.
I think we're at also we have the super chat. You can help support the channel and us by super chat and super thanks. And thank you for doing all that. I was trying to get
Oh,
that
that's okay.
photo
That's okay.
up and everything.
We also have a shop on YouTube, but the cups, honestly, if you get the cups and they're cool, get the white ones, because the black ones, the paint is chipping off after just a certain amount of washes. So we're not real happy about that. We don't think that's gonna. You're better off buying a sticker off of it and stick it on your own coffee cup. So I don't know what to tell you about that. They're cool looking. They're great looking when they come in, but we're going to try to find some better sources for that kind of thing and build up all that so we can have some merchandise, whatever they call it.
Tracker trainer training course candidates. We're getting close to graduation. That's on the 21st. The final exam is on the 16th. That's in about 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks left on the 16th. And the one before the 16th is when we're going to go over the test, the final test, everything that we're going to be, that's going to be covered in the test. We want to give a refresher.
It's only 1,200 questions.
Well, I don't know. War Chief kind of made it sound like he was 15? Ready, so maybe we'll go up to 1,500 questions. But don't worry about it. They're all going to be hard. But the tracker training course candidates, we're very proud of you. You're almost there. Keep going. Stick with it. If you're still lacking a stream, get to us and we'll send it to you. We need you to finish every stream, all your homework and the homework. We need those in to make sure that you see what we're seeing. You have to, like when you lay that track, you got to stay there. You got to see how it goes. And I believe Ross in here has he's still watching his track. He's still watching how it's deteriorating, how it's shaping, how the weather has shifted it and changed it a little bit. So keep looking at those tracks. We need to learn everything about it, which we're going to go over that more in the class again, or in the course.
We don't know when the next session will be. We're going to take a short break in between and catch up on things that we need to do and prepare for the next session, but we will let y'all know about that.
Again, this is a tracker channel. Welcome to the tracker channel. But it's not an open forum. It's not like the other channels that you see out there. Everyone has different channels. But here we give tracker updates, interviews, show live tracks, photos, videos, and it's for the tracker training course candidates so that we can communicate with each other. And that's how this officially started. Monitors, you all know what to do. Axis, swords, hammers, block, delete,
favorite line of this entire
block, delete. If there's any disruptions, any conversation starters, or anyone trying to disrupt from what the interview is about, or the guest, or the lesson, we don't need disruptions. We do appreciate everyone here.
We do. And
we do the comments right after this, which we're just about to get to that. And we will sometimes in the middle, if we have a break or something, we will come back and catch up on the comments. But mostly the comments, we need to wait till the end because we don't even watch the chat that goes down while we
might see one or two, but we're trying to focus on who we're talking to or what we're talking about ourselves.
Yeah, because we're talking, we're gathering information, we're sharing information, and the people here get to hear what we're talking about. But the questions will be answered at the end of the interview or the lesson, as long as it's topic related. Like we give the example, if we're talking about tracks, the ridges, the waves, the grooves, the direction, pressure, springbacks, and things like that. And you throw a question in like frequency, we do have other videos like that we've already done on DNA, frequency, origin, and things like that. So, but if they are topic related, they will get answered. Also a new, well, it's not a new channel, but a channel that we would like to help promote, because it's a very good channel. That's Scott's Life Off Grid. You'll find him on YouTube. He may be in the stream tonight. He's doing a lot of off-grid things to help people see better ways to do things. He's very faith-driven, orientated, child of God. You won't have the language on there. And there won't be any arguments or anything like that, because he's just teaching you things that have to do with off-grid and how to survive if you need some things like that. So Scott's Life Off Grid, go and check him out.
We can tell you also that he's in an active area, so you never know. Always watch the background when you're watching that channel, because there's plenty going on there. So you never know what you're going to see.
So we'll get to saying hello to everybody, and then we will get to our guest.
I just sent you another photo that she just sent.
Oh no. And we usually, about 7:40 is when we get to the guest, and that's about 10 minutes. So we're going to have a little time to say hello to everybody. This is Lead Tracker's thing. So you sent me a photo, right?
I just now sent.
Okay, so I'm going to go grab that photo.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let me see how.
I can go through on my phone.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let me go grab this photo by Lead Tracker E. I got these two. These.
No, she just sent me some fish. Unless she sent it again.
She may have sent it to you, but you need
I
to
just
send
sent
it
it
to
to
me.
you.
Oh, you did? Okay. In an email?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I'm going there.
And did you just send another one too? Because I just got another alert. Do I need to go look at that, or is this something new? Okay, let's start with Lorna in the room saying no sound.
Lorna says no sound.
Night Star says this
Hey, I just remembered that I can talk low.
Oh, yes.
And I don't have to talk really loud because I watched myself on the video and I was like, wow, I am really loud. So I'm going to try to keep it at this level because what the war chief actually told me that when he knew I was about to talk, he would turn his volume down. So I'm going to keep it a little bit lower and try to be a little bit more calmer.
That's right. But not that quiet. Not as quiet as we were when we first came on the screen. Night Star says, this is a lip reading live stream. Night Star says, good luck, everyone. And LOL, Cubinator's here. And sorry about that in the beginning. Jody's here with us. He says it's a lip reading test. I tell you what, if you ever get a chance, go watch bad lip reading videos. They're so funny. They'll do it over the sports, and I haven't watched in a few years, but they're hilarious if they're still doing it.
Lip reading,
bad lip reading, and it's hilarious. You have to see it to know. I'm going to skip Pat. I'm just going to call out the names. Nathan is here. Hey, Nathan, glad you're back. War Chief says they'll eventually figure it out, folks. Thank you, War Chief, for the confidence.
Yes, he knows.
Bernard is here. Hey, Bernard.
At least halfway through the stream, we'll figure it out.
So now we're back. Let's see. Scott is here. Scott's in the room.
All right.
Lyrical Jazzy is here. Hi, girls. Ladies. Says, hey, everybody. We will be listening. So eager to learn. Cubinator's here. Southpaw. Linda, pray we must. Everyone's greeting everyone. Joanne is here. Hey, Joanne. Glad you're here.
Joanne who?
Joanne Hartnett,
Joanne.
very sweet lady.
Joanne is here.
Christian is here. Blessings, Christian from Chile.
Oh,
Graybeard says maybe buy a copy for your local library. Oh wow, Graybeard, what a stellar idea! Love that idea. Thank you. We don't even. Yeah, we need to get some copies and put in the libraries around here too. Let's see, Lorna, thank you so much. I'm scrolling. Just greetings. Jody, thank you. Jody says, always brilliant. Thank you. You guys are so wonderful. Scott says, thank you, Jody. It will go to good use. Rogue Status is here. Hey, Rogue, how you doing? Danette's back again. There's Callie. Y'all remember Callie?
Hey, Callie. Here I am.
Don't yell. JR is here.
Callie, I would like to say, please
in a low and measured tone.
In a low and measured tone. To stay till the end. We have a small surprise. Thank you, Lorna. Greatly appreciated. Greatly apprecited.
Callie says, here's where I'm at.
And also Jody, thank you. So
okay.
Okay. Let me catch up to everybody. Lyrical Jazzy. Okay, where are we at? There's Callie.
I'm down here on Callie, who says you had to talk loud with me. Couldn't get a word in if you didn't. Night Stars, just so that you know, and Callie, it wasn't your fault. We only have to raise our hands because there's a lag. Yes, because there's a lag for several seconds, so you don't even know that we're talking because you can't hear us. It wasn't because you were talking. You did just fine. So if you see us raising our hands, that just means, we want you to hush so we can say something.
So we can be no. But Callie, please stay till the end, because I'd like to show you and Not Stars both some very interesting things that you sent to us. We didn't get to show it last night because of we got that shortage. But if you watched last night, you got to watch the video that Callie sent in. But tonight we want to show that video in another way also, because we did some tampering with it. All good though.
Yeah, just breaking it down.
Okay,
Bobby Younts.
Okay.
Younts, I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. Says, evening, Tracker E and Jerry and chat. Good evening. Glad you're here. Judy's here. Hey, Judy.
Judy. Where am I close? There's Bobby.
Jody says, good luck, Jerry. Nice and quiet.
Where's Jody? Where's she at?
Further down.
Hey, Lyrical Jazzy is Espanol habla en.
Night Star says, oh, Callie, you're so sweet and calm. Quit playing.
Yeah.
Everybody's greeting everybody. Bobby Yount says, love your book, Jerry. Thank you very much.
Bobby.
If you would, leave us a review. Let's see. More greetings. We won't read every greeting.
I think I passed you up. Yeah, because there's Bobby. Okay.
Let's see. JR, you can hear us now though, right? Or are you messing with us? Can you hear Jerry, or is he far too quiet?
Am I talking too low? I've been trying to get my
inside
voice going, not my outside voice going.
Okay, I'm caught up on We're caught up. Everybody's greeted and entered into the room.
Okay,
And
so
our timing, we're 2 minutes ahead. It's perfect.
perfect timing.
JR's just kidding.
Okay, I don't want to be too loud. And I'm going to laugh about this later when I watch this. I just want to hear and see how low I have to talk to sound
Let's
normal.
introduce our guests.
Okay. So tonight we are having Night Stars. This is not the first rodeo for her. She's been on a journey of exploration and exploring and finding the truth. Went just like a lot of other people. A lot of people didn't believe and ridiculed. I'm not sure if that's what happened here, but we're going to have Night Stars introduce herself and give us a little background. We're going to back it up a little bit, and then we're going to get into some photos that she sent in, and we're going to share that with you. And most of them we're going to share with you as she talks, because we kind of put everything together with ways she was going to maneuver through this. And well, I think we got it figured out. So if you would, let me looks like Callie.
Want to catch up on a few more?
Yeah, just these
We'll
last
catch up on
ones.
these last few comments. Callie says, I love seeing your personalities emerge on here. We love getting to know you guys too.
Yeah.
Lyrical Jazzy says, Mom said at least this time we are on time this time, and we're not running on Indian time as per usual.
Yeah, there you go. And look at this.
JR says, I'll pull my earplugs out.
You know, War Chief was probably holding that volume button like this, you know. So I see now.
Let's see, and then the rest is greetings.
Everybody's in greetings. Okay, we're going to
look at that perfect timing. 7:40.
7:40, perfect time. Everyone, please
welcome Night Stars.
Give Night Stars your undivided attention. Remember, there's a difference between listening and hearing. So let's listen to Night Stars. Lots of important information for you will be shared. Mm-hmm. And how are you doing, Night Stars? How are you doing?
Hi, you guys. How are you? I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. I'm ready to go, and if you guys have pictures that are not in order of the outline I sent, that's totally fine. We can go through however. I'm flexible. So.
Okay, we kind of got if we're gonna kind of show the pictures. Let me move one real fast.
Can you give us the general area that you're in? Nothing identifying.
Yeah, it is in the North Georgia mountains, and it's not at all like South Georgia. South Georgia is very flat, and the further north you get, it's I've heard that it's not technically the foothills of the Appalachians, but to me it looks like it. It's a technicality, but it's really beautiful up here. Lots of forest, and I've heard that because of the amount of rainfall that we get up here, we're classified as a rainforest, actually. So there's a lot of underbrush, and there's vines, and they grow thick and on the trees. And a lot of rainfall, as I said. What else? It's really beautiful. And we've had an influx of people coming from all over the country moving here. So we've got people from New York, California, Arizona, you name it. They all moved here. And I'm one too. I was raised in San Diego, lived in Minnesota for a little while. My mom's from New Jersey and my dad's from the Midwest. So we're from all over too. But yeah. So what else do you want to know?
Do you have the kudzu there?
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Lots of kudzu.
They love the kudzu. Okay.
Yeah, I hear it grows about like a foot a day. That's how prevalent it is here.
It's edible if you get in a bind.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, I read too. It's good for to help against like if someone's struggling with recovering from alcoholism or trying to get away from some sort of addiction. I heard that you can use it medicinally for that too, but that's just something I've read in passing. I really like the whole holistic thing, so I'm reading up on that.
That's cool.
That's good to know.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you, oh, go ahead.
You can start from the present now and work back.
Well, if we can, let's kind of start back. Like you said, the 10-year, like the 10-year ago kind of.
Oh, the introduction.
Yeah, let's go back there and let's kind of start. Let's start back and make our way up to where we are.
Okay.
We normally do it from the most active, but the way the pictures have been set up, you've got a journey that we're going to show.
Yeah.
Pictures too, and how you're doing things, and great photos.
Okay. All right. Well, my name here is Night Stars. Hello, everyone. And sorry I can't show my face. I would love for you guys to see me, but can't be here. Maybe in person one day. I was born in the 1980s, and I live in North Georgia, as you know. I was raised in San Diego, and I was a Navy brat, and it was a great childhood. And I've been a Christian for about 10 years now, and I was baptized when I was 12, but you know, I had questions about God and everything, and so I walked away from the Lord because I had these questions, and then I came back to Him. And it wasn't until I had rededicated my life to the Lord that all this stuff started to happen. And the first thing that happened is that I saw a shadow man in my bedroom, and it was the creepiest thing I have ever seen. And he was very tall, and he actually had a top hat on. And it just stood there. That thing stood there at the foot of my bed. And I foolishly I don't know why you do this, but you throw the covers over your head and you hide. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start praying. And then I decide to peek out, and I don't know how long I was under the covers for, but I peeked out, and the thing was standing right beside me on the side of the bed. And I went back under the blanket, and I couldn't sleep all night. And when daylight came, I fell asleep sometime during the night, but when I woke up, I'm like, what in the world was that? But it just lurked there, and it was creepy, and I didn't think anything of it. In fact, I forgot about it until more stuff started happening. And then I decided to keep a journal because all this stuff is happening. I'm like, there has to be, I'm just writing this down. This is crazy. So I got married to a man who was a child of a pastor. And we had a really short engagement. It was only like 4 months. And for you younger people out there, please have a long engagement. It's wiser to do so. And but we were only married for 6 years. But during that time, we lived in a house off of a lake, and I will call it the Grandview House. And it was a man-made lake, and that was when all of the we witnessed like a bunch of strange things, from lights, strange lights, to this weird, it wasn't quite a shadow, but I was in between dreaming and awake. Like I was awake, but I wasn't dreaming, but we were visited by some sort of entity. And then strange smells outside of the house, and Sasquatch activity, or predator activity, as I now call them. And then it went to the farm and where I am now. So that's my history in a short detail.
You had from the house, you're talking about at the farm where the predator activity started, or the Grandview house?
It was at the Grandview house where the predator activities started.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember, but I had mentioned that the Grandview house is on a lake called Grandview Lake, and it is a man-made lake, and it was dammed up in the 70s. And the foreman, I think he was called the foreman, who oversees everything, his 4-year-old daughter went missing, and they never found her body, and they even dredged the lake. And I just think that that's interesting to note.
Also, for the viewers, if people are missing around a pond or a lake, look at take the boat and go to the very center of that pond or lake. That's where most of the predators will take the deepest part, but it'll be right in the very center. If anybody check there first, and then check for blood loss of that body.
Yes, I remember you saying that in one of the classes. Yeah, and I read that in your book, your guys' book. Yeah, if I had been there at that time and I knew that knowledge, that's where I would check first. But,
yeah. Went straight there.
So, yeah, it's weird.
So we're at the farm now. Is that where we're at?
Yes.
How much how much distance between those two places, Grandview?
Yeah, tell us about the Grandview house. What you had activity? What's going on there?
The between the Grandview house, let me see. Between my old Grandview house and where the farm is only, let's see, it's not far. It's only like a 30-minute drive. It's not far at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a feeling, like, I don't know if this is just me overthinking it, but I just had a feeling like these things followed me from there. But I can't be sure, because gradually at the farm, I began to get suspicious of the bird activity, the raven activity, and then just the feeling of being constantly like watched. And I'm like, I'm in the woods. I shouldn't feel this way, you know? But I don't know if they can do that or not.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did tell you that I knocked back to them on accident, by meaning I thought it was a neighbor whose house I had run up on, because I used to run in the woods behind my house. And I wondered if that like connected them to me somehow. But I've since repented of that. I rebuked it in Jesus' name. I repented of it if it needed to happen. And I was like, I've cut ties. No, thank you. So, but yeah, sorry. To answer your question, it's not far from the two.
I was just thinking, sometimes when we're out in the woods, or in the woods, and sometimes we actually hit something and it makes a wood knock sound. We're like, well, it's not
nothing.
Yeah.
You like open fire like Rambo.
No, this is how you know.
Yeah, but
So is this where the most activity has started for you, or where was the beginning? Where was you when you first started noticing? Anywhere?
Oh, with the predators, or yeah, the predators. It was at the Grandview house, and it started with bright lights outside my window, and it was so weird. I'd be laying in bed, and our bedroom in this house, it was a 2-bedroom house set up in the hill, and which was actually the guest house of the main house of the lake house. And it was just me and my husband and our dog. And I'd be laying in bed almost asleep, and I'd open my eyes and I would look, and it was as if a flashlight had gone off outside the windows. And there was a window. We had the bed to the back wall that went up to the mountain, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4 windows in that little room. And 2 of the windows were in the corner, and I slept on the left side. And it was at that corner where the lights would suddenly shut off. And I would shut my eyes again and open them, and they'd go off so fast, I thought I had imagined them. And I did it like 7 times to where I get ticked off, and I was like, that's it. I grab a flashlight and I go outside. I'm like, somebody's playing a joke on me. And I go outside and I look outside, and there's nobody out there. I don't hear dogs, because in the South, people like to run coon dogs and treat raccoons. And we've had a guy back there a couple times running his dogs at like 1 a.m. But you hear dogs when that happens. So I don't know where this light comes from. So that was the first of all the encounters. And then we had a weird smell outside that was just stunk, like a skunk that had been sitting in its urine and that had been bleeding, and it was just like almost fecal smell, but it was rancid. It was really nasty, and it was right outside that window too. And I was in bed reading a book, and my husband was brushing his teeth, and he stops all of a sudden, and he goes, "Ugh, what is that smell?" And I go, "I don't smell anything yet." Or I didn't smell anything yet, but I said, "I don't smell anything." And then 2 seconds later, it hit me. And I was like, "Oh, what is that smell?" And he goes, "I don't know." He's this offended look on his face. And then he goes back, he turns around and starts brushing his teeth. And I look at the window, and I'm like, it's right out here, whatever that smell is. And just as quickly as it came, it drifted off. And it only lingered for a couple of seconds. And so it had come from that side of the house where the bathroom was, and trailed by him first to come to the bedroom, which is why I asked somebody in the live stream if they can see through blinds, like if they have like a heat signature or something, because that's all we had were the blinds.
No, it's not that. It's that there's little tiny pinholes where the strings run through.
Oh,
Tiny spot. That's all you need. You know, people are looking through a pinhole, right?
Yeah.
You need is that tiny little bit, that tiny little gap. So we suggest curtains over blinds, even if you have blinds.
We never got curtains, but we were, poor at the time, and I was like, I would love some curtains, but we never got them. But that explains it.
And I wanted to, before we get too far back on the Hat Man, when you said you stupidly pulled the covers over your head, you did exactly the right thing. You created a threshold. You did perfect. That's exactly what you should have done. You should have responded. You covered up.
Good.
Instinctual for a reason. You did well.
Oh, good. Because that's so instinctual. It seems so childish, but it's so instinctual.
What you're doing generally when you do that too is praying or talking to God, or
And also the shadow man is also called the big top or big hat man, big top man. The Bigfoots wear hoodies, but they are known to get those big tops or those big brimmed hats and put on, because that comb goes up.
Yeah.
They put it over top. You don't see that comb. It looks like a normal man now.
Mm-hmm. This guy, it wasn't a guy, but this thing was really thin and really tall. And I know they come in different shapes. You've said that. And but yeah, and then the movie, like years later, called The Babadook came out. It's a horror movie. And I saw the preview, and I was like, oh, heck no. No. I'm like, that's what I saw in my room. No. But I didn't see, it was just a shadow of that creature, if you've ever seen that movie. I refuse to watch that movie. I'm like,
I was going to say, if anybody watches that, please pray before you do. It's too much.
I've never.
No, they tap. No, now, like I'll watch old movies, but movies these days, they tap into things. I know they do. Hollywood is just evil and debased, and they're communing with things that they shouldn't. And you should be very careful when you watch some of these, especially horror movies, because now they're not about like scary things like, serial killers. Now they're just straight up like about the demonic, and it's weird, I don't know, but yeah. So that.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
when you were talking about those lights, did I understand correctly? Like when your eyes were shut, the light came on. When you opened your eyes, the light went off.
Yes, yeah, and I could see it. It was so bright. I could see it through my eyelid, but it was outside my window, and it almost seemed like somebody was shining the light from on top of the roof. And it was at that corner where those two windows were. And they would go off, and the second I'd open my eyes, they would go off. And I'm like, am I crazy? And I did it at least seven times. And I'm like, I'm not imagining this. I'm awake, and this is happening. And someone's playing a joke on me. And I ran outside to confront them, and nobody was out there.
Well, what was going on was there were fairies out there. They can create a lot, and they use different techniques to get people to come outside their homes.
Oh, great.
They'll knock on the door. They'll knock something over outside just to get people to come out, or they'll mess with the dogs, so the dog's barking at the window and want to go out, chase that fly.
Little predators.
Yeah.
But it's just to get you out, or just to get your dog out, or let the cat come out and run around, something like that.
I should have sent you guys pictures of the Grandview house. I didn't, because it sounded like we were just going to focus on the farm, but I've got pictures of the house for you if you ever want to look at them. It doesn't show any, address or anything, but I took pictures because of what happened there, and the layout and everything. And this is the same place where the bones were in the fireplace, and I had to move those out, rebuke them, and I wouldn't touch them. I'd use a stick and push them out.
And what bones were they?
They were just like animal bones, like bits of bones in our fireplace after we would eat over the fire. Like we would cook a steak over our campfire, in the backyard on the hill. And the next morning there would be bones in there. And it wasn't from us.
Sound like they came and also cooked something there.
Yeah. I don't think so, because nothing was charred and it wasn't wet. These were old bones, like dried bones, like pieces. And I have a feeling that they were asking for some of the food. Like, I think that's what that meant. Now that I look back on it, I had no idea what that meant then, but I was like, nope. Whatever this is, no.
Okay, so now take us from the bad smell and then go wherever you want to go.
Okay. And then after the bad smell was the twisted branch, not the branch, but the twisted young tree in the backyard up the hill. My husband had set up a deer stand in a tree with the help of a friend. And the next morning he came and asked me if I had broken the tree beside his stand there, because that kind of gives away his position. And I'm in my pajamas going, when would I have time to do this? We just woke up. And I'm like, and he looked genuinely worried. He was disturbed by this. So I'm like, all right, show me where this is. So I put on my boots and we trudged up the hill. And about 10 feet up on this young tree that was maybe about, I don't know, maybe 5 inches in diameter, 5 or 6, I don't know. It was thick, but it was broken and it was facing north. So it had fallen north, that top half. And I looked up that way and I'm like, it's almost like, and I knew then that I'm like, that maybe it means to stay here or stay away because that's my area. I'm like, but who would do this? And I looked around the base of the tree and I didn't see any prints at all. And we didn't have a storm last night. We barely had a wind, but the wind does whip through those hills, but not enough to do that. Unless it's a tree that's old and is, ready to come down, or when we get tornadoes, but we didn't have a tornado, we would know. So there was that. And then after that, my husband became too frightened to go out and hunt, and he didn't even touch his stand after that. And he knew what it was too. We were both kind of like, okay, there's something going on here. Yeah. And then I was, when I would hike back there, this was before I knew we had mountain rattlers. And my sister and I came, and she brought her son, and he was about 5 years old. And we were walking through the brush up there, and there's old logging trails all through there. And I would run these trails, and I came across a neighbor's house, and it looked like no one lived there every time I would run up on it. But, to be respectful, you don't go up to someone's house. You don't do that. I mean, in the city, that's fine probably, but not in the country. You can get shot. So we were walking these logging trails, and my little nephew is such a trooper. He didn't complain or anything. He's walking these steep hills, and I suddenly, out of the blue, got this feeling of abduction. And it was a take. I'm going to take you or take something from you. And I knew it was my nephew. And I stopped. I said, Amanda, I'm like, here, Willie, climb on my back. I said his name. And I said, come on my back. We're going to give you a piggyback ride the rest of the way. I made him get on my back, and we hiked the rest of the way. And I thought that was noteworthy. I just went with my gut instinct on that one. That was creepy. And it was in the summer, so we have foliage all around us, and sometimes you can't see through a lot of the bushes. But that happened at the Grandview house too. And I really should get my notebook because there's more.
We got a minute. If you need to get it, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Let me grab this. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, there was, I actually emailed Graybeard about this. Graybeard, you'll remember this one. He wanted to hear more about my experiences here at the Grandview house, and I told him about the time when my husband and I had a long day after work. He did landscaping, and then I was waiting tables at the time. And so it's at the end of a summer day, and the frogs were chirping, and the sun was going down, and it was such a pleasant night. And we had rocking chairs on our covered porch, and we were just sitting there. We each had a beer, and we were talking about each other, our days and how it went. And we're just rocking and listening to the frogs and enjoying the water view. And then all of a sudden, night fell, and we heard an owl to the left of us in the tree, just not 30 feet from us in the neighboring tree. And then it swooped down and pounced on something that screeched, something small. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did you just hear that? And he goes, yeah, of course he heard it. But I'm like, we just caught an animal. We caught some food. And then the owl, we can hear it lift off of the leaves and go up behind us up the hill. And it gets up there, and then the hoot starts again, and it transforms into a monkey, like a chimp. And then there was 2, and then there was 5, at least 4, like monkey calls, like ah, ah. And that day, actually, I had off of work, and I had cleared a path up there because there are 2 graves up there behind the house. That part of our agreement as renters, we had to be like grave caretakers. It was the woman who owns the place, her husband and her youngest daughter passed away. The story is very sad. But she said she was bringing a headstone up for her husband that weekend. So I wanted to clear a path for the 4 men to take up this headstone to the resting place. And that had been disturbed. And I'm pretty sure it was at that gravesite where this sound was coming from. My husband and I didn't say a word. We got up and went inside and locked the doors. And we're like, he wouldn't talk about it. And I'm like, what the heck was that? I'm like, you heard that, right? He says, yeah. And he wouldn't talk about it. He was terrified. And so I never spoke to anybody about it. And I've actually never talked to anybody about any of this. so that happened there. I mean, it keeps going, but so
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
okay. So I ended up, to keep this brief, and God took me out of this marriage. The family claimed to be Christian, but was living very selfishly, and they were living for themselves. And I was blinded to all of it because I do not play ball, and I call it like it is. And so they hid it from me for a long time. I was blinded. And then I was like, something's not right here. Like, there were little telltales, but I'm like, I wonder what that's all about. I'm like, oh, well. But God brought me out of that. So after my husband left and I had the house, I changed the locks, and that's when things started to ramp up, the activity. And I got a knock. I was in my room where I sew, and I was sitting there and sewing, just enjoying the day. I had off, and something hit the bottom of the floor from underneath the house so hard it made my seat jump. And I was petrified. All I could do was like a rabbit, like be still and not move. And I finally, after, I don't know, a minute, I stood up and I looked out the window and I didn't see anything. And I crept to the other side of the house and peeked out, and I still didn't see anybody. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So later on that day, when I got brave, I went outside and I checked the crawl space, and I did not have that locked, but it was shut. The door was shut. And it happened a couple other times. The second time, another time. And the other time I responded quickly, but I still didn't see anybody come out of there. So, and then there was pounding on the walls at night. I'd be almost asleep, and something would hit the house, and it would be right where the head of my bed was. And so I had enough. And I was like, So I decided to try the anointing and oil thing. It's the first time I've ever done it. I've heard it could be done. And I was like, I'm going to try it. So I grabbed my Bible. I opened it to Protection Psalms. I think it was 91. And I grabbed the olive oil. I went outside. I did the doors. I did the front, the back doors, and I did my windows. And then I did the wall where the thumping has been happening. And then that night, I was falling asleep, and there was one last thump on that wall. But it didn't sound like a palm of a hand. It sounded harder. And before my husband left, he cut down a bunch of saplings around the back of the house to get the tree line back. And the next morning I went out to look at that, and there had been one of the saplings that was moved from the place where it was felled, and it was laying right by where my wall is, where my headboard was. So they had picked that up because they couldn't touch the wall, and they jabbed it at the wall as one last, defiant move, I guess. But after that, it didn't happen again. And
they had come looking for a mate now that you were a single gal, and you responded correctly.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's not how you pick up chicks, guys. It's not how you do that. They're so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
Well, something about, you said there wouldn't wind. It's not wind at the farm.
Oh, yeah, there's a wood knocking. I think that's pretty much it for the not wind at the farm. This was a story that I sent Bart, and this one I made crosses with. I had success with anointing my house in oil. I was like, I bet you can do this with a barrier around your property. And the horses at the farm had been acting very strangely at certain time periods, like around Halloween. And I've started to notice at certain lunar cycles, they would act very spooked. And I decided to, one day when I had off, I was going to make some rebar crosses. Now, this was years later, obviously. I went through some time of this divorce, and then I met a guy, and now I have a boyfriend, and he's a Christian guy, and we've been together now for 4 years. And he taught me how to weld, and he taught me how to cut the rebar and tack weld them together. So I took the Bible and I opened it on a protection. I have it written down which Psalms I use. And I made crosses and out of these rebar, and I made probably about 12. There it is. It was in 2022. And I welded them together. I blessed them with the Bible. I first prayed over myself, and then I prayed over the material. I prayed over after it was made together, and then in Jesus' name, amen. And then I brought them all to the farm, and I didn't tell my bosses this because I don't know how they'd feel about this. I've been I've been accused of witchcraft because I do this stuff, and I'm like, come on, you know. Like, I've been called some good stuff in my day, but come on, you know, educate yourself a little. but I buried them all up at the. I should have sent you guys a map of that. But at the north end of the field, there is a great tree, and it's not a cedar. What's that other one that looks like a cedar? It grows really tall.
Bruce?
Or juniper?
No, juniper. It starts with an A, I think. Where is it here? I don't want to spend my time reading and have dead air. It'll come to me. Well, I buried it spaced out and went all the way down the north field and up east and along the fence, and then cut back down south towards the brook, and buried them all there to make a wall, because that's where the horses, when they were penned up right there, were spooking, and they were looking in that direction. So I'm like, all right, this is where I will bury it. So I essentially made a wall there. I made a wall, a spiritual barrier there. And after that, they were peaceful, and it was really cool to see. And then I decided to tell one of my bosses. So I'll name her Kay, and my other boss, M. And they're married, and they've had the farm for, I think, over 10 years now. And she's more receptive to stuff like that because she's been a pilot for years, and she's seen UFOs. And she flew all over the Bahamas, and her husband was a pilot as well. So she believes me when I tell her this stuff. But M, he's very, cut and dry, and he's never seen anything, and he's just, how people like that get. But so I wouldn't mention to him at all, because once I start talking about, sharing my stories about Bigfoot, he gets this kind of grin on his face, like he's about to say something smart. So I don't mention it to him. But Kay is more receptive. So I told her finally that where they were, and she wanted to know, oh, well, where are they? And I said, well, they're buried a foot in the ground, so we won't hit them when we, mow. But and I told her where they were. She goes, well, thank you so much. And I was like, yeah. She goes, we need to do the rest of the farm. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I have yet to do it. I'm so busy there. It's a lot of acreage, but yeah, so they're still there, and it's awesome because right in that place the horses are safe, but it doesn't stop the other areas at all. But yeah, that's the oh my gosh, the knot wound at the farm. The reason why I told you that backstory is because after I planted these crosses, 3 days later, I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, I was just dreaming about who knows what, and this dream was interrupted, and this monster was standing there, and it was huge and hairy, and it had the body of a man, and it had very powerful legs, but it didn't have man legs. But I couldn't see the bottom of it. And it was in like a monotone, like it was grays, different gray colors, this dream was. And there was weird shadows moving over this thing. It had a wolf's head, and it had like a triangular hair on the side of its like neck and face, like kind of like on, I guess on the side of the neck, if I remember correctly, but it had really pointed, sharp ears. And it had this really evil look on its face, like it hated me. And it said, "You think this can stop me?" No, he said, "You think this will save you?" He said, "You think this will save you?" And he points out to his left and at nothing. And then all of a sudden, my Bible appeared floating there in the darkness. And it dawned on me that I thought that the shadows moving across this being were leaves, and because of the, like in a wind, like it wasn't a violent wind, but it was very windy, and he was outside and he was in the bushes. And now that I look back on it, I think he came across that barrier and he was pissed off. And I wanted to say something back to him, because you don't bully me, that pisses me off. But I knew something stopped me and said, if you say something to him, this will not be the last time you see him. And so I curled up into a ball and I shrank, and I was able to get out of the dream. And then I woke up and I sat up in bed and I was like, what the heck was that? And I got some water, and I just stayed up for a little while, and I prayed, and I rebuked it, whatever it was, in Jesus' name. And I was able to fall asleep again that night. And I read my Bible. I kept it by my bed and I read it, but it was my same Bible that came up in that dream. It had the scratches on it. It had the gold inlay, and it was my lambskin Bible. And that it appeared like a wind. That was the dream after I put everything. The fact that it's the reason why I labeled this "Not Wind at the Farm" is before one of the deciding factors that I should put up a spiritual barrier for the horses and myself is because I was putting up the plastic fencing. They're not quite T-posts, but they're plastic. You stomp them into the ground, and they've got 3 hooks where you can put 3 lines of plastic. They're like metal laced plastic fence, like line to put up an electric fence. It's usually temporary, but we just put it around to where we were going to keep the horses off of the grass, because horses can get fat off of grass. Grass has sugar in it for them, and that's not good for their health. So we had to put them up and keep them off the grass. So I was putting up this fence, and it was a sunny day. It was getting a little cold, and it was October, I think. It was September or October. I think it was October. But the horses were way up in North Field grazing, and I was untangling this huge ball of line, and just thinking, enjoying the weather, and then I went to, I heard a crow. No, I'm sorry. The breeze was blowing, and it was so beautiful. I ran through a building we call the run through. It only has 2 walls, and on one side there's a tack room that's enclosed with a door. And I ran through to the back to see the breeze go through the leaves. And as I did that, a crow flies low over the canopy, and it caws low, and every 2 seconds, caw, 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 as it went south. And I'm like, that sounds like a warning. That's interesting. And I turned back, and I hear the thundering of hooves come tearing down that hill. So I run to go see them run. And I get there just in time to see them fly by. And then Kat, who's the oldest, and just takes up the rear, and she's flying down that hill. And just like dogs or cats, when you get to know them, horses have personality, and they have different running styles. They have playful, they have, they're angry. You can just see it on them. And then this one was fear, and they were fleeing something. And I was like, that's weird. I'm just, la, la, la. So I go back to my ball, and I start untangling it, and I hear a wind rise up, like a mighty wind, rise up, but there's no wind. And it rise up from behind me, where the corner of, I think I sent you guys a picture. It's the corner of the horse run through, it's called. And it came from there, and it rose up. It seemed to glide slowly across the dirt ground and then landed on the roof. And I hear clunk from the roof. And I stop what I'm doing. And I go, oh, I'm totally butchering this. I'm sorry. I started to pray before that happened. Let me back up. I started to pray because I felt a presence approach that corner, and it scared me so bad. I started to pray. And as I started to pray, I prayed for protection over me, over the farm, over the horses, in Jesus' name. And as soon as I did that, then that wind picked up, and it was concentrated sounding. It glided across the ground and onto the roof. And it's kind of a very shallow A-framed roof. I don't know what that's called, but there's a slight peak. And I knew something was on there watching me, like just over the top of that roof. And I started to pray harder. Then all of a sudden I feel a pain in my neck, like a pressure. And then I drop my ball. I go, that's it, I'm done. In my head, I go, no. And I just leave everything where it is. I walk to the work truck, and I get in, and I'm praying the entire time, and then I drive away. And I get down to the horses, and they're in the level area down by the brook. And I get out, and I look back, and I don't see anything there. And I'm still praying, and I've got this throbbing pain in my neck. And I go up to Bailey, and he's the only gelding, and the rest are mares. And I go, what was that, buddy? What was that? Are you guys okay? And I look over my shoulder, and they seemed like they were okay. So I'm okay. They're okay. And I feel like I'm at distance enough too, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll be back later. And that pain didn't subside in my neck for about 45 minutes. And later on, I found out my managers, K&M, they paid for a screening, a body screening. And I found out that I had some plaque buildup in my left artery, carotid artery. And I didn't know that. So I was like, wow, that was an attack. So that was the not wind at the farm. That's what I call it. But sorry if I totally butchered that.
No, I was
You're
just
doing great.
I was kind of wondering about who suggested you get checked.
Oh, K&M, they're very holistic. They like to do all natural stuff, and so they go every year to get checked. And they're like, well, as a perk for working here, why don't you come and we can the farm will pay for that. So I said, okay. So it covered me and my boyfriend, so we went. So she suggested it. Okay.
It just sounds odd, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm pretty sure that Kay practices witchcraft, and she hasn't come out right with it, but the things that she says makes me go, okay. And I'm very cautious of things I take from her. My cousin was a witch, and she had put me under a spell of depression, and they play with things, and it can happen. And that was the first thing actually I've ever experienced in the spiritual realm. I was like 20 or 21 when that happened, but I was like, oh my gosh. And ever since then, I'm like, very careful what I take from people that do that stuff. And I'm not going to be ugly. Christ wasn't ugly to people. You know, it's just you have to show them in love and, you know, love them to Christ. And so and then there's something else that she did too that made me go, okay, pretty sure you are a witch. And yeah, so I don't think she put anything on me because I had been taking vitamin D, now D3. Now, if you take vitamin D3 without K2 and you take too much, your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it will build up in your arteries. You have to be very careful of that. So the K2 helps make it bioavailable. So that's what I was doing before I knew better. So I don't think she cursed that at all. I don't think she did that at all. But
I was just kind of wondering because it sounds kind of specific about what she was saying. Let's go have this checked out.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean it like that, but it was not a coincidence, you know. It was very I don't think she had anything to do with it.
It's the wording, and she said, well, look, let's go get you checked out.
No, not at all. I didn't mention it to her at all. I was just, that was something I thought, like, you know how you get a pain in your body and you're like, oh, that hurts, and then it goes away.
Then how did we know to suggest you go?
What?
Then why did they suggest you go?
Because they go every year to get checked out, and they said, as a perk for working at the farm, would you like to come with? And I said yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll allow.
Yeah, it just sounds odd.
Really?
No, we'll just.
No, tell me what you think.
No, we'll just. It's possible.
Well, and a lot of people in witchcraft and like the warlocks, they know about these little entities or the little, even the fairy kind of life, how they'll shoot darts and things like that. Certain things that they look for, like you could have gotten a dart in the neck or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know she likes fairies. Like
Okay.
yeah, and I know better from stories I've heard from researching for answers for what all this is. And but she's very much in the romantic of it all. Like yeah, and
putting the crosses out, so she's still just under the deception stage. Probably got into it for thinking it's white magic.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she exactly, that's what she thinks, you know, and I just
she doesn't know.
No, she doesn't, and she has I know like I've tried to I showed her your book, and I brought my notes with it, my notebook that I keep my notes when I'm in class. I write all these notes down. She would touch the notebook, but she would not touch your book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't say anything, but I looked at her.
Bible verses in it.
Yeah, and it has a spiritual warrior's path, and it has the cross on it. And I didn't even think she saw that much. She glanced at it, and she wouldn't even touch it.
No. Wow.
Yeah, so that stuff like that, I'm like, dear Heavenly Father, please protect me while I'm here. I'm very careful what she gives me. And I pray over everything. And if I hear the Holy Spirit say no, or don't do this, or you need to leave, I am on it.
Good.
Yeah. No, I don't play games.
Good.
But God puts people in your life, and He takes them out for a reason. So.
Yeah.
But that's the not wind at the farm, and it was very, very intense.
Okay.
So, no wind, but you heard the howl.
It was like a whooshing, like, and it was almost like if a wind could turn into a ball, and it was concentrated and it could move. But that's just what I could feel, and I just knew that. But my back was turned to the whole thing, and then it was just so weird.
It sounds like a translucent that was close to you was howling or blowing. sometimes you'll hear them in rafters and in homes and things like that, but there is really these Bigfoots, these translucents, making that sound, you know, kind of like thunder and lightning.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that could be. Jerry, I felt it move though. Like, I don't know how I can explain that. It moved closer. I guess it probably made the sound as it moved closer. You know, and I'm completely aware that in heat and cold, these metal buildings will make sound. They move. It's metal. It contracts and restricts, you know, and expands. And but this was at the same time that wind sound came over the top of the building, and it was almost like a landing. So it wasn't that. But but Bailey, he'll to this day, like, I'll feed them. I feed them every day at like 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4 o'clock. He'll Bailey is the gelding. He's the head honcho of the 5 horses. And he'll be off staring sometimes, not always, but he stares. He'll stare at the neighbor if he's in his little area, his field that's across the brook, you know, and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, there's a man there. Okay, hi. Or and then he'll be staring at nothing sometimes, or that I think is nothing.
He's always on alert.
He is. He's an awesome horse, and he watches out for his girls, and he says, okay, it's time to leave when it's time to leave. Like, he eats in the arena area where I feed them, and then he's like, it's time to go, because they want that open area where they can flee if they have to. And I've mentioned to Kay, when this was all going on, I'm like, can we not pen them just yet? And I couldn't tell her what I was experiencing, because I didn't quite know how to even explain it to myself. And I'm like, she's going to think I'm crazy. But can we leave them loose for a while?
We should go there.
She's a witch, and she knows about fairies. You can pretty much just say what you want
and
without
creatures.
worry.
She should know.
She'll get it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, even talking about this to you though, like, I'm not used to vocalizing it, and which is why I'm butchering all these stories, and I apologize, everyone. But my boyfriend right now, he's a Christian, he's born again, but he doesn't believe in any of this stuff. Like, I mean, he's aware that some spirit, we wrestle against principalities, you know, and dark forces. And his dad had this is how he got saved. He had left the Masons because he thought it was stupid, because they were doing these rituals, and he's like, this is so dumb. So he quit, and that night he had a visit from something dark. It shook his bed and levitated the bed, and their neighbors, they were elderly, they woke up at 3 a.m. and they said, something's wrong with Mike. And they all ran over to the house and saw that. They went in the house, into their house, and saw the bed off the ground shaking. And they started praying and rebuking it, and it stopped. And that's how Mike got saved. But so my boyfriend's very aware of that aspect. But as far as these predators, he doesn't.
Baby steps.
Yeah. I mean, I've told him about some of my experiences, because he's asked me, who are you emailing at 10 o'clock at night? You know, I'm like, oh, it's this person. He's got a podcast, and I'm just telling him something. You want to hear it? He goes, yeah. What are you? And I'll tell him, and he'll look at me like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend's out her mind. So I'm like, you know, but yeah.
Bailey, and it means steward.
Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I always hug him. He's so great. He's a draft mix. He's big. Yeah, he's steward. That makes sense. That's perfect for him.
Yeah.
My mom calls him Captain America because he stands really tall and high. He does, just like that. Yeah. Yeah. He's a superhero.
Good. Whatever, unless you have a question, whatever comes to your mind, let's talk about it.
Okay. Did you guys get the pictures of the mud prints on the gate? Did that come through?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, we was actually, whenever you're ready to go over the photos, we want to take a little journey with you, kind of put it in order.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but let's kind of so you're trying, you can't really talk to this person.
What person?
Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to best tell her. And since she is a witch, like you said, Ella, I should just be able to come out and say it. And I've been feeling that way, but I'm like, this sounds really crazy. But I think you're right. I think I should just get her alone one day and say, I think this is going on at the farm. I don't care how it sounds. Can we please do this about it? You know?
Yeah. Okay, so we're at the farm now, right? And you're getting activity here. You're seeing tracks. You're seeing the horses are acting up. The cats are acting up. Everything's going. It's not normal, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. Do you want me to go in about the cats?
Yeah, let us know how the animals are doing too, because we have to listen to them too. They tell us everything.
Yes. Oh, okay. Did you want to show the mud prints at the gate, or I don't want to throw a wrench in the works.
Let's just talk about your cats, and then we're gonna go tracking.
Okay. All right. Well, there are 5 cats as well. Well, there were more. 2 disappeared. 1 ran away when we had arborists taking down some trees, and he never came back. And 1 is pure white, and if he's left outside, there's no way he could survive. So, and that leaves Logan, who's the house cat. He's the orange house cat. Max, who's a fluffy old man who's missing a tooth. Julius, who's this big old black tomcat. He's just a gentleman. He has a little white spot on his chest. And then Milo, who's a gray and white cat. He's just so sweet, and he's borderline annoying because he wants all these pets. And he's always rubbing on you. And then there's Gigi, who's a small little female, and she's crazy, but I love her still. And she's an orange and black cat. She's cute. And she's tiny. This is tiny little cat.
I think so too.
What?
I think you love all the critters.
I do. They're so sweet. And everybody, I've noticed, especially this year, because I'm more on tune to stuff, that their habits change drastically in the winter versus the summer. And part of it is the sun. They want to be in the sun on the south side of the house, and but they have been hiding or laying down and taking naps in certain places during the day when I'm there. And I noticed that one day Max and Milo were taking a nap on the south, right in front of the cans, the shipping containers we call the condominiums, and because they turned them into little apartments for Airbnb. But they're on the far side, which is the south side of where that is the opposite side of where I feel like the predators have been staking out at that bush that I sent you guys pictures of. And I think for the first time, I saw translucent out of the corner of my eye while I was passing by the fireplace, because it was heaped with wood. And M had been sick for a while, and he hadn't been able to burn anything, so the pile got pretty high. But as I was walking by that, it froze. It was on all fours, and it froze, and I saw it and I looked away, pretending I didn't see it. And I was like, holy crap. And then I went back, and the cats were no longer laying where they were laying, and I had just pet them before I left. So I had given away their position, and I didn't know that. But now I know that, and I know now not to even acknowledge they're there if that happens again. So, but Logan, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How big was that one?
It was pretty big. It was on all fours, but it came up, it was way bigger than me. It came up to maybe 3 feet high. And it had like, it was mid crawl, and it paused, and it was looking, it seemed to be looking at me. I don't know if it was, but it had a limb out in front of it, and it had just froze.
So say Great Pyrenees size?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And this pile was really big. It was, it was shamefully about 6 feet high. It's a pretty big wood pile. But Logan, the house cat, he gave me the first and the biggest telltale that something wasn't right. And during the summer, when with our routine, we plow our own fields for the hay for the horses, and so we cut everything, we bale it, and we put it up, and you know, all that stuff. And when I come back at the end of hay day, I go into the house and hang up the keys, you know, and then say goodbye to everyone, and I leave. And when I opened the front door to M's house, I can see Logan slinking around the corner, and he stops, and he looks at me with these huge wide eyes, and then he realizes who I am, and then he puts his foot down, but he looks a little bit around him, and I'm like, and I started, after a couple times, I'm like, is he thinking that somebody else is in here? Like, why is he looking at me like this? And then I'm like, somebody's been in here. And then with everything else that was going on, I was like, I think these things are coming inside this man's house. So, and then the cats will ask me to go in once it gets dark and everything, and I let them in. And especially on rainy days, you know, cats don't like rain or cold anyway, but they're very cautious, and they know what's around there. What else? That's all I can think of.
Out of 5?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Did you say 2 cats are missing?
Yes, there were 6, 7, and 2 cats went missing.
Okay. On page 173, we talk, I think that's, no, maybe not. I wanted to say that the wood piles in the book tells people that the wood piles are one of the ambush spots.
Yeah, I read that when we were covering that. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And when you asked for pictures of the mailbox area and you know, where you park your cars and everything, I mean, there's so much around me that can be an ambush area, and I'm just aware of it now, and I pray the blood of Jesus every time I go there, because I will not live in fear, and I'm protected.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I also have a firearm. I mean, it's a little tiny pea shooter, like a 9mm, but yeah, I always.
You know where to put the bullet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Oh, and also, that's all I can think of for the cats right now, but we've got ducks. And this winter, the ducks are not staying down at the pond in the low area. And we have a dock down there for them. They have a fallen tree that's sticking out of the water that they love. And 2 of our ducks have gone missing. They're females, and the females will sit when they start to nest on the far side of the bank. That's when they went missing. And now we do have foxes around the area, but I just think it's interesting too that they're just staying up with the chickens in the fenced-in area, and then they're up by us at the house.
Yeah.
So, and that's more than just feeding times. They're not just up to get a free meal. They're hanging out with us. So that's to be noted. But so it's the ducks. Chickens seem to be all there. Now I don't count them every day because we have like 30, but occasionally one will get out, and but I think that's interesting that they don't go missing.
What dogs?
Yeah,
No.
people will notice a missing chicken before they'll miss a duck down at the river, but even the cats are kind of suspicious. But the chickens, everybody goes there almost every day, look for eggs. They count their chickens, count the eggs.
Yeah.
And so they know that you'll notice something like that.
Attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get new, like a lot of these are old birds, you know, and the new ones we get every spring. So we get a batch of new chickens. And the new ones definitely are counted because they're our next egg layers, you know, and that's how the farm makes a little money, is with eggs. One of the ways we make money. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. No dogs. Kay has a little Chiweenie. He's part Chihuahua, part Dachshund. His name is Bob, and he is the farm dog, and he owns the place, and we report to him.
Okay.
He's fun. So he loves to chase the rats, but he hasn't caught one yet. I wonder what he'll do when he catches one, because he's about the size of one. 2 rats, I guess.
That you want to talk about before we start going through photos?
No, I think that's it. That's all the animals. That covers all the animals. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing, please.
Sure.
In 2021, I'm pretty sure it was 2021, June, I was babysitting the farm while Em and Kay were out of town visiting family in Florida. And they were going to be gone for 5 days. And during that entire time, it was raining, just terrible weather. So my duties were cut down to take care of the animals and to watch the place and, you know, do rounds. So I wasn't doing any projects at that time, which is what I'm getting at. So I stayed in our Airbnb guest house, which is on the farm's premises. So I could be there first thing in the morning to let the chickens out and do all the chores. The first day, or I don't remember if it was the first day, but at the end of the day, my boyfriend works down the road and he has a mechanic's shop, and I go and visit him at the end of the day. And even though we were staying up here, I would go and say hey to him and help him close up the shop, and then we'd head back to the Airbnb and settle down for the night. And when I get in my car, you know, I do the horses at 4, and then I come back, hang up the keys, make sure the house is locked, make sure the kitties are all fed and warm and, you know, and watered, and the lights are on to make it look like someone's there, and put the chickens away, you know. And I get in my car and drive to the shop. And as soon as I step out, I'm completely drenched on my seat. I'm like, my butt is wet. And my boyfriend goes, what? How? And I'm like, I don't know, my seat. And I put my hand on my seat. It's drenched. And this was a cold, uncomfortable rain. I'm like, my seat is completely drenched. And he goes, did you leave your car window open? I said, no, it's raining outside. I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, I wouldn't leave my car door open either. Like, habit, you just shut it, you know? And I was just like, this is going to sound crazy, but this is what I figure. I'm like, these things were watching me do my rounds, and they called to each other to shut my door or open my door while I was away, and then shut it when I got back. And the reason why I think that is because they did it at the Grandview house, which I forgot to mention. I just remembered that now. I had the window rolled down when I was heading home at the Grandview house. And I heard them call like a hoot, not a hoot, but it was like a hoot, but it wasn't like an owl. It was an odd call.
What?
Yes. And it went from the first house, around the first house, up on the hill, and as I went down the drive, the road that winds around the lake to my house, I heard it travel through the woods to my house. And I was like, and I sat there going, I don't want to go in my house. What were they doing? So they had done it before, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened at this time.
Yeah.
So they had opened my car door at the farm, thinking I don't know what they were thinking, but
Sniff around.
I'm sorry, what?
They want to get in there and sniff around. They're nosing around.
That's, yeah, creepy. Yeah. Since then I lock my car, even if it's sunny out. And I carry that plastic bag in the back of my trunk as a reminder that happened. So I lock my doors, even if I'm out front and it's a sunny day and we're all there watching the car.
And that's in the book too? Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read that yet.
I'm pretty sure it's in the book. We've said it enough. It better be in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is valuable information. Thank you guys so much for all this. It's just so important, and
Glad it can help.
I really need to practice my shadow language because it's really poor. I wanted to take better pictures for you guys, but I really wasn't confident enough to go into the woods to go get them because I'm like, I can't tell if one's standing right next to me. I have to practice. So.
Speaking on that, let's look at some of these photos.
Actually, I'm sorry. Can we go through? Since we're just about to get to the photos, can we go through and see if there's any comments or questions for you right now? I mean,
yeah,
we're just listening, but if you have any questions or comments for Night Stars, you can put those in now.
Of what you've heard so far.
Of what you heard so far. We're going to go back and check real fast, and then we're going to move forward.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on. Looks like let's see. Bobby's from North Georgia. To me, us is the foothills. North
Georgia.
I think so too.
Hills too. Okay.
A local told me one time that that's not technically the foothills. And I was like, so confused. I was like, but these are the Smoky Mountains. Oh, it was the Smoky Mountains. And I was like, but they're smoky. I don't understand.
CT is here with us.
Hey, CT. We were just talking about you a little while ago.
In a good way.
We sure were. We were wanting to make sure you're doing all right. Glad to hear from you.
Ace is here.
Ace is here. Bob's here. Montana. Montana is Logic.
Goes back.
War criminal.
All right. So everyone's listening to your details. Looks like no questions right now, but that's good too. So we can go to the next part, and usually till the end anyway for the questions. But we'd like to track it.
What? I'm sorry. What?
That sounds like the team leader is saying something. Somebody goes, "What?" Well, I missed that.
I was paying attention the whole time. I swear.
Go through the photos. Go tracking with you through these photos.
And you take us and tell us, explain where the photos are, and we're kind of into the last track that went in.
Okay.
So start off with this. Now, this photo right here is actually a handprint that we're going to show you. This is yours, right, with the sweet peas?
No, but I like sweet peas.
Oh,
Was that
This
Must,
No, who said it?
must be our last night's guest.
okay.
Accidentally onto yours.
Oh,
Well, for those who don't know, those are fingertips.
oh,
Yeah.
is that when they walk on the fingertips like you said, and when you track them, that
Yeah.
throws you off real bad?
This one pulled his thumb out and restuck it back in. That's why he got two right real close.
Oh,
But the others are just kind of like the knuckles kind of stuck down in there with the tips. But you can see that one pulled out and stuck it back into the dirt. So it's like a hand, kind of a claw print, kind of like that.
So that's Callie's picture then.
Yeah, that was
we
Callie's.
accidentally got
Okay.
mixed into this one.
Let me get that one off.
oh, I see. Yeah, the two lower ones are the thumb.
Yeah, yeah.
Readjusting.
Oh,
Is this yours?
yes, that one's mine.
All right, so we are tracking now. This is a big one. As you can see, the stride, it's the next one's way up there at the top, and then there's one at the right. So this is, I would say, what would you guess how big it was in length?
You said earlier.
If it's on all fours, it's more like maybe about 4 or 5 foot long.
I was gonna say about tiger size.
About tiger size.
Maybe a little smaller.
Or a little bit bigger, like a man size kind of thing on all fours or something. But there's other tracks in this photo, and it's like raccoon tracks going across. So this thing was going right behind some food. I'm not sure where it was going, but this thing was following some raccoons and things. So we're going to go a little bit further, and we want to know about this area also.
Is that one of the condominiums?
Yes, there's two there. The bottom one is shorter than the top one, and the bottom one set into the hill. Now, do you see that little water collector to the left?
Yes.
That's where the cat Milo and Maxwell was laying on that other side. You can't see it, but it's on the left side of that. When I gave away their position, and I noticed after that there was a translucent passing through because I was heading that way. So that's where that was. But this is the condominium. The bottom is finished, and the top is in the process of being framed out to be an apartment. To the right is the bushes where the stakeout was, and to the left of the upper shipping container, you can see 3 wires. They're the metal laced plastic lines, and the T-posts. We have bees right there. So that's where our bees are. But it looks a little bad right now, but we're in the process of fixing it up. But
Fine.
yeah, now I don't know what you think of this, but I was doing some work to the left right there where the wheelbarrow is. We've had some electrical problem, and I was in that mud pit underneath the deck there trying to fix some wire, and I had gone into that door in the middle on the bottom can to set down my equipment to keep it safe from the elements because I was heading on to a next project, and I had suddenly turned and come right back out, and something that I didn't see jumped right where that window is to the right on the lower can, out into the sun. Something jumped from there, and then I heard it jump twice in the woods completely behind these 2 shipping containers. And the woods are further back than you think. There's enough room there to get 2 trucks through, like 2 Chevy trucks side by side. There's stuff there. You can't do it now, but that's the width. And I don't know if what that was, but I was like, what the heck? I'm like, I think I just spooked something. But I didn't see what it was. I'm like, and it could be a squirrel, and it could just have been a leaf rustling, but there were no leaves, and so I don't know. That's just something to note.
Trying to look in those lower windows?
It sounded really small, about the size of a squirrel.
Yeah. So in that shadow underneath that window, the clear window, the one on the right.
Yes.
I couldn't get it in good enough. I want to throw a kind of. A lot of people don't do the shadow language that well as far as the viewers, but there is a little small kind of creature laying in that dark shadow. I'll send you the picture later, but I mean, but you can see it, but it's just a small thing. I would say it's the size of a maybe it's kind of like a monkeyish kind of looking, but it's no bigger than maybe not even a small well, about like a small monkey, I guess it would be.
Spider monkey.
Like a spider.
Oh.
I think it'd be about that size.
Well, okay.
Now, right behind, we're gonna do a little translucent viewing, but right there, do you see that tree sticking straight up that stem, or that it looks kind of bare, I guess?
Is it the one that's to the right window on the upper shipping container? Is just straight up?
Yeah, just straight up.
Yes, just to the left.
Let's see if we can. Can you see the face in this thing? It's from the top of the tree, follow it down, and there's a black spot about maybe not even halfway down. It's a little blue. Well, it's not a little blue face. It's a big blue face. But look at that whole dark outline. Shadow on shadow.
Is it where the sky is, or is it further down to the right?
Well, the whole outline is that whole dark area, and the face is right there between the V, and not the V, but onto the left, the biggest opening about maybe an inch or inch and a half down from the top. There's a blue round face there, but the whole shadow is a big creature there. And it's just kind of sitting up there watching whoever's taking this photo.
I'm sorry, Jerry, I can't see it yet. I'll have to study it.
Okay.
It's from the top, and I'm looking on the left side, going down to the first big limb gap, right?
Yes, there's a dark area in that big limb gap.
Okay.
Right in the, it's just right there. It's a blue face. The hair and the head is, follow that shadow outline.
In between those two branches.
Right.
That's the face of it. But the rest is all that dark area.
Wow. I can't see it. I'm sorry. I believe you, but I can't see it yet.
Okay. And maybe if we get like a big
too,
screen TV later.
Sometimes if you reduce them or large,
Okay. Let me I'm going to screenshot this and then study it. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So we're back here again. And now that window right there has got a reflection of something. Do you see the face in the window? No.
Is it blue?
Yeah, it's blue. It's just a shadowy kind of face.
I see it. The eye sockets, and it's almost like a black tear going down the cheeks.
Yeah.
Is that it? And then the nose is almost like a V, and then the mouth too. It almost has like a muzzle.
Yeah.
I see that one.
Okay, so here we are again. Now that where the door is to the left, you see that dark area?
Door to the left, dark area.
The wall.
Oh, underneath the porch?
Yeah, that dark
Yes.
area.
Mhm.
There's some eyes. I wish I could. I mean, I thought I had it better, but there's eyes right there. As far as that's a dark shadow that shouldn't have a shadow that dark right there. But there's something right there also. It's kind of like it's got its head tilted a little bit, looking like it's laying on that hill, but it's not.
Is it behind that first little grass fluff? Like its
Yeah,
head?
yeah,
Yeah, I
laying
see it.
sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so here we are again here, and you was talking about the water collector.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna blow that up also. Shadow on shadow, right in the middle of the screen. The dark shadow that's looking over the top.
Shadow. I see the shadow.
Yeah, the dark shadow is looking right over the top of that at whoever's taking the photo.
I'll take a screenshot of that one too. I believe you. I'm so unpracticed. I'm so new at this. You know, it kind of angers me, but
Where you're
it's
taking
just,
photos,
Yeah, you're taking all the right photos.
your eyes will catch up to what your spirit body's telling you.
Okay, so now we're gonna go outside the property, I think. And can you kind of tell us about all this going on here?
Oh, yeah, that fence.
Yeah.
so this is the outside fence that's along the road to get into the horse pasture. And it's banged up, but we painted it green. And the one day I was coming out from feeding the horses, and I noticed some mud on the top of it. And this was after I laid the crosses in the earth. And it wasn't a month later. It was only like maybe a couple of weeks. But yeah, they were the size of my hand, my fingers, and it looked like something had grabbed it, the top of this gate, and had leapt over it. This I think that's a bird. I think. Yeah, these ones are birds. I sent you those ones. I think that's a bird, but I'm not sure because that's significantly smaller than the other ones that I took. And I took a picture. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. These are actually claw marks.
What jumps that? Is that a bird?
No, it's a handprint. It's a claw mark. Here's some more of the claw kind of tip parts of it. You'll see how it points down to the needle points.
Mm.
And also with this one, this is not a bird that leaves ridges.
Yeah, that one is the first set that I took. And yes, that one was the size of my hand.
Why is the fence dinged up? Did you guys do that, or did you come out one day and it looks like that?
No, it's from years of people using our little short driveway as a backup, and who knows. There was another person who was the farm manager before I was, and he was a druggie. So he left the truck in a bad way, and who knows if he did this or not, but it was like that when I got there. And nothing did that to it that I know of. I think it was just people hitting it over the years.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was just because but also this tree that's right by that gate. This is an ambush area.
Mhm.
Check out whenever you get a chance.
I'm always watching right there. I pull up and I'm immediately drawn to that area, and I watch it as I get out of the truck, unlock the gate, and push, and I look at it again as I get back in the truck. I have no idea why.
Yeah, we talked about that the other night. If you're continuously drawn to an area, there's a problem there. Your body's trying to tell you, you know.
Yeah.
So we're going to go outside this gate now. And we've looked at this. And this is what you were showing us, right?
Is it a bow, or is that a claw mark in the tree?
Yes, we thought you sent that to us.
Good Lord, I had no idea that was there.
Oh, I thought that's what you.
Yeah. No.
She's testing that thing. She's showing us his claw.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, there's bows all over this area, you guys. I mean, every bow I sent you, unless it is zoomed in on, is a different bow.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And the more that, and when I'm practicing seeing these things, I'm seeing more and more, and I'm like, oh my Lord in heaven. I just pray the blood of Jesus over me, and I will get through this day.
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell us about how tall this will be? I know I cropped it, and I should left the whole big picture. This is it's from one of the pictures that you sent in, but could you kind of give us a approximate?
Yes. I had no idea that was there. I probably more than likely took that either off the side of the road on the way to the farm to the right, which is a huge ambush area, but this looks actually like I'm level. So I think this is on the way to the Airbnb where I've stayed. And there's a bunch of bows over there. It is more than likely to the right of the driveway when you're driving in. And let me see here. I've got my pictures pulled up too, so.
Okay, yeah, because I shouldn't have cropped it to show how high this was, because that other bow right there is still a tree that went up and then bent over.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty high.
Yes, a lot of them are higher than a man. I would say maybe about 7-8 feet.
So we were thinking about we were thinking about 8 feet. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's where I think that one's at. I'd have to, let me see.
And this is the picture of the wolf or the walking wolf that we got from one of your photos.
Oh, when you guys sent me that, I had no idea. I thought I was just dealing with, not that it's just big, predator Bigfoot, but I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
look, we were talking about the other day. If there's a serial killer in your neighborhood, do you really care if it's John Wayne Gacy or Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
No.
So it doesn't matter as they are. It can be, 30 tiny ones like a piranha attack, or it could be one big one like a shark attack. It just doesn't matter. We use the same protection methods against them.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't discriminate when it comes to that.
I've got to skip one photo. Okay, give me one. Give me 1 second, because it's an important photo I need to get back. I don't know where it's at.
Oh, I found the photo. You want me to email it to you real quick?
Which one's that?
It was at the Airbnb. The one with the claw mark in the tree with the bow.
Oh, no. We were just kind of guesstimating about how tall that was.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Give me a second. I need to load one of these photos. I don't know how it got off.
While he does that, I'll run through and say hi to anybody that's new in the room. Callie says, night stars. I had the lights in my bathroom window too. It's in my outline. Jerry and Lead Tracker E. I just didn't go over it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, Callie. Yeah, I was like, I'm
And
crazy.
Kelly said
I'm like,
it's mine. In regards to that picture earlier, Kelly said, yes, that was hers with that can of corn. She says that looked crazy to me. Yeah. Dave's Cryptid
Yeah.
Adventures is here. Hey, Dave.
Hey. All right.
War Criminal, how
hey.
you doing? Lupita's here. Hello,
Lupita.
Lupita. Glad you're here.
Hello.
Lupita asked, is the face the Bigfoot? See, yes. Jody Albrecht says, tree bend over the top container. War Criminal says, I see it. Lupita says, camouflage, see. Lorna says, can see its eyes. Lupita says, in the window, yes. And looks like a skeleton face, says Lorna. Lupita says, it's in the window. Good, good, good. War Criminal says, looks like a gray. Jody Albrecht says, creepy. Lupita says, hello, good evening, Ella and Jerry. Hello, Lupita. And
Hola, Lupita.
Scott's Life says, JD Green. So if I passed someone accidentally in here that's called JD Green, I'm sorry, unless that means something else. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move a little further in. I just got the photo up. So what about this one right here?
Where is that? Oh, that is inside the gates at the gravel. We have gravel just at the gate to help with the mud issue. Is there a brook right there? I don't remember there being mud. Is that mine? I don't know if that's mine, you guys.
Yeah, it's yours.
I don't remember sending. I sent you so many pictures. I'm sorry. But this is, if this is where I think it is, this is at the gate, and it's overlooking the brook where that dirt part is there. And then that's the neighbors' field. And then they have, their house is further down to the left, perched on the hill in the woods.
Okay.
And we hay that field. They let us hay that field during the summer months.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look familiar to me.
Oh.
Are you sure that's mine?
Oh, I hope. But if not, we're gonna show real fast.
Okay.
This is what we're looking for. This one. Okay, so we're gonna be looking for this in that picture. Okay.
Okay.
Where's it at?
Scott says JDG means John Deere Green. Oh, that's the color of the fence. Oh, I like that color.
Okay, so here we go. Keep in mind that this is what we're looking for in this picture. Can we see that? Off to the right. It's right there on the right. You see that image going up on the right?
Yes.
That distortion?
That distortion, that...
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay, we're going to blow that face up real fast. I love saying that. Can you see this face?
Yes, I can. I can see eye sockets and cheekbones around orbital sockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this
and a
one
cone head.
there, translucent.
Why is it
Right
so
there.
big? Is it close or is it that big?
It's close to whoever took this photo.
Mm.
If it's last night from Callie's, then this thing was close
And big.
and big.
Callie, is that your picture?
When
Callie, she's like, oh.
so we're gonna press Yes, we're going to say yes. Dave's Cryptid Adventure says, can see a jaw and beard. Good, Dave.
Good. Okay, so we're gonna.
So when that sun hits them, you know, like you can't see the dust until the sun hits it.
Yeah.
You can see them too. They'll be sitting, and you can just see the outline in the rainbow too. You can like this.
Oh, Callie said that's not hers either. Well, whoever's picture this belongs to,
this has got to be you.
Get confused. Maybe it's just cropped out of a small piece of your picture.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
What? It's unfamiliar.
And I've seen this, and I said, "Oh, she's testing us again."
This is fall pictures, though. Like these, well.
It looks like your
I
neighbor.
sent you recent.
Yeah,
it does. It does. But that earth right there kind of throws me off where the brook should be. It's not earthy there.
Okay.
But I mean, it could be. Yeah, I see that.
Right now, you know, look for that discoloration and that distortion.
Yeah.
And some of y'all probably have so much better.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Is this a backyard or is this a front yard? What are we doing here?
It's beautiful.
That is what we call our mushroom meadow. We grow shiitake mushrooms for the farm, and we sell them. And this is a panoramic, so it's kind of odd shaped. But to that left clearing around all the trees are logs, vertical logs leaning on cable. That's interwoven between all the trees right there. And we go back there during, you know, the months that we harvest mushrooms, but it still produces for us a little bit when the days are warm throughout the fall and the winter. To the right, it goes down to the pond.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where that is.
Can you see where we're at now?
Yes, you sent me this.
That's a little further back there.
Back behind that cluster in almost the center.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found it by the shadow on the ground.
Good.
See, you're learning the shadow language.
I'm learning.
And here we are in another spot you're showing us. Big ambush. Just you got everything perfect.
Well, this is new. This is something that recently happened this last week. So they no longer hang out right there. When I sent you these pictures, they were. Right after that, I think I got sick. I was sick the week of the 9th?
Yes.
Yeah, through the 13th. And then I was given the rest of the week off. And when I got back on Tuesday the 20th, there were no dark shadows within that. And I had we have a girl that's training with me. It's her first job. And one day when she was there and the sun was out, and we hacked that bush up. So now I can see completely through it. But that was where they have been watching me since I have started 3 years ago.
You're right. You're right. What about this? What we got going on here?
What do we call those?
Those are blinds.
Horizontal shoved in there.
Horizontal.
Yeah, the big long logs going across there. But there's so many ambush areas in there. Those dark spots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You should see this place, you guys. It is just like what Callie said, squatchy looking. That's a good term. This thing is that whole place, and that's just a fraction of that corner right there. This is at the eastmost end of the horse field. And it's
then
just,
does that drop off that ridge behind there?
I'm not brave enough to go look.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It kind of levels off and goes up into the hill. Around that corner, I have walked up there before with Kay. and she was thinking about putting a building right there. So I have been up around the corner there before. So it does not go down. It's kind of, it goes down to the left a little bit, but very slightly.
We zoomed in on a couple of things. This one's way zoomed in, but that there's the eyes straight in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to follow the nose to the mouth, and it's like it's got hair on it.
I see it.
Oh,
It's
good.
facing to the left.
Yeah, yeah.
I see it.
Dave's
Yeah, I knew something was in there. It just.
Dave's Cryptid Adventure says this is the second time I've seen something captured in a reflection. Last one looked like a dogman / demon mix.
Yeah, that's
And this one looks like a troll or something with either horns or rounded ears, or it's just sitting there right next to that pile. And then we have another one that was sitting just up the hill a little bit, that dark shadow right there. It's got a weird looking head. It's kind of a straight, it's a weird looking head. But you can see the eyes and the long protruding snout. It's like a flat mouth going out.
Where am I looking, Jerry?
It's that
In the dark?
Yeah, the darker than dark.
Okay.
And you'll see the eyes pop with the ears on the side. You see where it kind of looks like that bow?
Yes.
Okay, where that crook is, that's almost at the tip of the head. Underneath it, maybe.
Just look for the darkest dark.
Yeah, darkest
Okay.
dark.
Got it.
Very center. Not higher, not low, just right underneath that. It's right underneath that that bow-looking thing.
Behind the horizontal.
And between that branch that's going underneath it.
Okay.
If it was an eyeball,
I'll take a picture of it. I
okay.
see the darkness. I can't make it out though.
Okay.
But I'll study it. Yeah, that place. I'm drawn to that place too.
Oh yeah.
I always watch it.
So you took your over the shoulder, huh?
Yeah, I meant to send you a video, but I think it just came out as a picture. It was a scan behind my back, but this is all I sent.
So we're looking. We see in the distance there's blackness over there. It's like there's something laying. Is there a barrel or a not a barrel? It kind of looks like a oxygen or a like this Bigfoot is laying on something.
There are tires leaned up against the side of that shipping container. There's about maybe 2 layers maybe of tires.
Okay.
So that's what's there. I can see kind of like a tire shape right there.
I see
I don't
the
know
head
if that's
popping up on top. And let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Yeah, sorry. I believe you. I just can't make it out yet.
I don't want you to think you have to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. Okay, so this is also another photo you sent in. What it's right here on this game trail, right? Or hiking trail, walking trail?
It's actually it might have been a logging trail at one time. It's not a used trail, but that is on the way to the Airbnb too, where the other bow was and the claw in the tree.
Okay, so now these are blinds that they use. You know, they'll pull it in, they'll build it, make it a little thicker. We're gonna zoom in just a little bit on this. And we're going to let our eyes unadjust. Let them unadjust.
That's soft focus, like if you were looking through one of those.
Yeah, if
3D
you squint,
images.
maybe if you squint.
I loved those things when I was little.
how you just space out.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of let your eyes drift apart. Sometimes
I had to get like really close to the screen, like back up.
So if you was to draw a circle right in the very center, equal, you see that branch that's going up, let's see, it's going kind of up this way. So the branch is going up, and then there's a big one. So it's kind of like, oh, I guess they're both going. Let me check them out.
Come this way.
But anyway,
we need to figure out a way to have a pointer on the
Yeah.
so we have to unfocus because the two eyes, it's just right there in the very center. Two eyes. It's got a big jaw, but it's right next to that stick that's sticking straight up.
Yeah, it's a little arched, a little.
Yeah, a little arch, just a little bit, and that face is right there, about middle ways. It's just right in the middle of everything. I should have did a circle thing for this, but
yeah.
But it's right in the very
super close.
But you may want to take a picture of that also.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now let's see
I'll
this.
practice on that one too. When you guys emailed me, Ella, Lee Trekker E, when you emailed me asking to reschedule and you said, we're finding way too much things in your photos, I was like, oh no, please Lord, no. I'm like, okay.
You got one that's kind of curled around that tree onto the right. About
the tree to the right.
The dark tree on the right side of the screen, going up, the thick tree.
The very darkest tree.
On the right. You see that head about halfway up?
Yes. I see like a round thing. Oh, is that an eye? And a nose? I see it. I see that.
And also on the
oh my Lord.
Also, yeah, you can, if you look, you'll see that the tree is light colored, a light colored gray in spots, but we're looking at the dark part.
Good Lord, that thing looks mean.
Yeah.
They are mean.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I know they are, but that just looks wicked. I think they all look wicked, but that thing's ugly.
Wicked. Even if there's any that are cute, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So let your eyes focus for a second. This is a green, kind of protruding, long jaw. The nose is in, the eyes are kind of back, and the head. It's looking around this tree. About halfway down, the dark shadow, it's got a green head, shadow behind it. There's an arm that's coming around the tree. That's that dark shadow in front of that tree. Now follow that up. That's it. Then you got the head right there. It's looking around that corner, looking around that tree.
Okay. It's very fuzzy, but I get the outline. I see the nose and the mouth. Yes.
Yeah.
I see it now.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And do you see this one? This is actually, it looks like two. Like one is looking this way, and there's another one. It kind of looks like an Indian head with a white nose. If it was looking towards the, I don't know what that'd be. To the right. It's middle
like
way.
On the nickel?
Yeah, just like on the nickel. That's what it looks like with a white nose right there.
I see it.
That's one behind it, and it's a dark one in front of it. So we're seeing instead of a noise pointing out, it's actually pointing towards us. So there's two faces right there.
Oh,
Can you see
okay.
that?
Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
Two faces pointing towards us. Now this is at the base. You took this picture. This is at the base of a tree, a big tree. And remember, we always say that at the bottom of the tree, in that dark spot, there's about 1 foot tall. These things will be sitting right in there. And this thing is, if you look directly in the very center of that darkness,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like one limb's coming down. There's another limb coming off that tree to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the very center of that, there's a face that's looking directly at you. Plus, it's got little ones. Those are the little lights, or little bright lights.
To the left in the darkness, above, and like there's two, almost one. They're vertical of each other. Is that two of them?
Yeah. Do you see where that tree or that limb is going upward?
Yes.
Okay. About middle ways down, that dark shadow that's over that tree.
Yes.
That's in front. Okay. Those are two of the same eyes, but it's on the head of the other one. And if you look to the right, you'll see a head looking straight at you.
Is it kind of like bug-eyed and they're slanted down? Or maybe I'm not seeing that one.
Okay, you see where the two eyes are on the tree, the shadow? Middle ways down, there's two lights or two white.
In the darkest spot?
Yes.
Middle down, there's two white dots. Okay. Now there's actually three, kind of like a triangle.
Like the Bermuda Triangle, sideways, kind of like a right triangle.
Well,
yes.
Middle ways down, there's three lights, light dots right there.
Okay, I see them. I see the lights.
Okay, now just right beside those, straight in that, it's like a football. It's like an opening right there. It's like a football. It's pointed above its head, and
yeah,
there's a face right in there looking directly at you. But it's got those other little lights or other little creatures that are hanging on it.
Oh my gosh.
But these are...
I'm going to take a picture of that one. I can't really make it out. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then we also want to show you this photo, which is very similar to the one right before this, I believe.
Jerry, you're doing such a good job explaining these. I'm so sorry, honey, that I can't see it.
Okay, can you see this photo?
Yeah.
Can you see the alligator type snout?
Short snout.
It's the downmost part.
Yes. Can you find one eye?
Is it the left white part?
Yeah.
The triangle, almost upside down triangle?
Yes. So this is about 6 feet off the ground, upright, bipedal, one with reptile DNA in it.
Oh my goodness.
Alligator DNA in it, but it's very similar to the one that was too bad. That's what it reminded us of.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow, that's terrifying.
Let's see. Okay. Also on this one right here, this was by those I think these were. This was, you see where, maybe it was on, no, it was on another one. Sorry. But this is again, let your eyes unadjust. But to me, this looks like a pig rat, if that makes any sense.
Combination of everything and a completion of nothing.
It's just like it's like it's laying down, but it's kind of turned upwards, and the mouth is facing to the left, but you can see that the mouth is open. The eye is right in the very center, and it's facing towards lead tracker E would be that direction. The ears are at the very back of the head part, and then the body is just kind of laying right there, but kind of looking up. But it looks like a rat. It looks like a rat pig, really.
Does it have horns?
Those look like ears right there, but it's facing left. We're looking at the side view of the.
Oh. Oh, weird. I think I see it. The nose is far left, which I initially thought as an ear. And there looks to be like a tooth or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's the mouth area, all it around. But right behind that's the eye, and then the ears further back, and then the body.
Yeah, I see it. And the one that I thought was a horn is actually the other ear on the other side of the head.
Okay, yeah, good.
Do you want to screenshot that one before we take it off?
Yes, thank you. Okay, got it.
Okay. So now we're this is Bailey, right?
That is, it could be anybody. The shadows all look at them. I bet that's Melody. She's got real fluffy hair.
Okay.
She's a paint.
She's looking at the wood line here. Now, over there in the far left, we got a couple of set of eyes in that dark area.
Oh, wow.
That should not be that black.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Is that big?
Yeah, there's two of them at least there.
Oh, how do I just totally missed these. People just look past these things so easily.
Oh, every day, every day. Now, tell us about this. What happened here? When did this happen? I mean,
okay, this is new. This is the fence. If you look up, actually, this is the exact spot where I was standing when I had that wind come up on me, behind me. I was standing right there on the flat part, untangling this line for this fence that's up right now. It's a slight hill, and this is the tack room right here to the left, and this is the run through, and this area is where we keep the horses up when we need them to be healthy and off the spring grass. But if you look at the fence, there's that T-post way out to the left up top. That's our metal T-post, and the rest are plastic. Now, you know how you only see two after that to the right?
Yeah.
The other ones were all broken. And 2-3 weeks ago, Melody had an injury on her leg. And we were like, I don't know what happened. You know, horses are like 5-year-olds. They can get into anything. And you have to see them every day because they could injure themselves. And I later went up here to get something for fence equipment, and I saw that down. And Melody had run through there. And I think it was her, because everybody else is fine. Nobody has an injury. And when they, you know, horses have for those of you who don't know, horses have a hierarchy within their group. And they constantly reinforce it. When they when I'm around them, now it is possible that you could get, you know, pushed over by a horse if they are running from somebody else who's higher up on the totem pole. But usually they can dodge you, and they know you're there, and they will go around you. They don't want to hurt you. She wouldn't have run through this, was what I'm getting at, if she was avoiding another horse. Something had spooked her through this fence, and she broke it. And it broke about 4 posts, at least 4 posts. And I picked them up and threw them away, and I've yet to fix it. But that was about, I think, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, because that 5th one's. But it was broken with her going uphill in addition to that. And I could understand if it was coming from downhill because it's easier, but something had to have been pressing her to scare her through that fence. And the horses don't touch it. They can smell the electricity. And they're like, oh, I don't like that feeling. So that's what that is.
So I was looking at all these prints also. Out there, is that your footprints or?
Bailey has pretty round prints because he's a draft mix.
Okay.
So
But this
he's
is
larger than the other ones.
around in there.
I'm sorry, one more time.
This disturbance is from you guys.
I believe it's the horses, yeah.
Okay. Because we were seeing it go up the hill.
Yeah. I looked too for signs. I was so puzzled when I saw that. I was like, what? And a branch hadn't have fallen on it. A branch has fallen there before, and I've moved the branch and repaired the fence. But this was deliberately mowed over. And Melody was the only one that had an injury on her leg.
Did the branch
I'm
about the
sorry.
same as the brakes? Are they trying to continue to pass through in the same area?
I don't understand your question. Say it one more time, please.
Where the fence was broken, is that also where the branch had fallen?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they're trying
Yes.
to pass through. Always pay attention to where the trees are down over the fences. They're trying to indicate this is a thoroughfare. This is a way to.
Oh, okay. So hey, I back behind there, up that hill, is the other part of the cross line, the wall that I put down, and it goes all the way down to the right to the brook, almost, the end of that hill anyway. But they can come in from any other way. They have access, by the predators have access, and the horses all through that wood back there to the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So they can get in there. But that's very interesting, Lead Tracker E. I will pay attention to that from now on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same place. I removed that exact same place is where that, the one that's broken, that plastic fence that's to an angle. Yeah, that's where the tree fell on it.
So this is actually to the left of the barn. It's on the other side, left and back. You just said them, but I just cropped the dark. The horses were actually onto the right, but I cropped the background of this because there's some things right there there's at least 3 right there. And that's
a very dark spot.
Yeah, that's where the horses you just sent, and there was a barn there, but this was in the back left from that picture.
Back left. Man, I'm going to screenshot this one too.
Okay.
Your chief wants to know if you have bears in the area.
Yes, sir, we do. We have black bears, but they're usually afraid of humans. They're very cautious of humans. Yeah, we get them at the farm from time to time, raiding the greenhouse.
And this one was in the distance, in the tree line. Oops.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Ooh, did drop the thing. Okay, we're back. So, right. Put that down. Yeah, right here is the nose. A little bit further in, it's right next. It's behind that tree, and there may be one in front of this one, but from like right here, there's a face.
Oh, okay.
The
It's
lightest
not-
section first is the
Yeah.
nose. Figure everything
Yeah.
out from there.
So right here is just,
Okay.
but in a little bit.
It's facing to the left.
Yeah, it's facing towards my finger.
Oh,
That's the nose about where my finger is. It's between the end of the picture and the tree. It's right in the, there's a dark, this is all dark right here along the edge. This is all dark right here.
yes.
But in just a little bit, right in the middle between these two parts, that's the nose. There's the chin. It's a little further in. And the eyes are more right there, but it's right between those two dark things. Just look at that light color to the white color. It's like
Yes.
a color. It's a good size one that's in that tree line also.
I see it kind of going over that tree branch. Is that, or that tree, the tree. Is that?
Well, you see the wire at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, that wire, let's look at it like an L. And
Okay.
right, you see that white piece on the bark of that tree?
Yes.
Okay, between there and the edge of the picture over here,
Other way.
over here. See, this is just all dark area, but right in the very center, if I could get into the very center of it, you would see the
You
nose.
see a flattened nose, and
Flattened
the face
downward
is
nose.
slightly leaning down, and it would be looking a little bit to its right.
Yeah. See how it would be. It would be kind of like leaning, kind of like this.
Oh. I mean, I see the nose.
It's kind of like that if you look at me, and it's right in the center of that black.
Oh, okay. I see it on my phone better than I have you pulled up on my laptop too for a bigger screen. I see it on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
See, but on the small computer or the phone, we can see better too.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I see it.
It's there in the dark, and there may be two there, but
Yeah, possibly split directly up that tree in the center.
Yeah. Yeah.
There possibly a smaller one right there with one eye on one side of the tree and one eye on the other side of the tree.
Okay. All right. I see the brow ridge. Is that where you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got something on
Yeah.
its head, forehead, another one or two small ones. But that's to confuse us.
Mm.
But that's in that tree line. Oh no! I would say it's like. Where was it? I think it was right in that opening, right behind where that fence is, further back.
Okay.
That's where we've seen this one. It's further back in there.
All right. I hate going up there alone.
Good.
The horses hang out up there in the enclosure during the summers because in the woods it's much cooler.
Mhm.
And I don't like going up there alone. Now they have stopped hanging up there in the winter. They don't go up there now. They hang out every winter out in that field where the open area is.
Okay, so that was the pictures that we had for you, but we'd also like to show you because Some of these creatures that move things in your house, you know, may knock something off your counter. This actually comes from last night with Callie.
Mhm.
We slowed it down. We didn't get to show it last night, but this will pertain to you also. That we're going to show this quick 3-minute video. I think it is 3 minutes 2 seconds. But whenever these things are outside people's homes, those orbs, the flashes of light, and I have seen that with lightning bugs up the mountains one time. They all lit up at the same time, and it lit up the entire pasture.
Oh.
So these things create light themselves. These little fairy creatures, and so they can all light up at the same time and watch you get up and look around and wait for you to light up again, and just
What other people would call fairies and what we would call little predators.
yeah, we
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
But I want to show you this quick video. It's about 3 minutes, and but just watch, because there's going to be things moving in your area if you have these things, but we want you to know what it is before it happens.
And there's a lot going on in this video. There's a lot of different things going on, but you'll catch on to the main thing.
Callie, if you're still here with
She's
us,
here.
watch this, please. We'll be right back. Okay, Night Stars?
We'll talk about it when we
Okay,
get back.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Okay, 3 minutes. So those were little, what people would call fairies, and they were at so these, you talk about orbs and lights and
Rod. Thing
rods.
with the rod.
These things will trip that sensor and let the main one come in, and they're looking for food, whether it's on, because they went right to that barbecue grill and they're looking for food. And it doesn't take a lot of food to feed these things, just one bite.
Little thimbles worth.
That would be a lot too for these things. But we remember Callie saying that she heard it say hello, but these little fairies, they can still mimic, not full sentences. They can't communicate like us, but they can say 1 and 2 or 3 little phrases. And Callie was saying that she heard them after the trip. She heard it say hello, but that's just it flying up to the,
almost like a whisper.
Yeah, up to that speaker and saying hello or hello, in that little voice, that little mimic voice. But
because that's what they hear people do, and what she does from the inside too.
Yeah. Because we'll always say, if somebody's at the door, we'll say hello or who's there, or pick up the phone, they hear hello. So they know these words. So if you have anything moving or orbs or things like that, if the cats are afraid, look for things like this, because they will fly down. They will show their sharp teeth and everything to the pets and scare the pets. They'll feed on the pets.
Energetically and physically.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on. And when you're talking about, it's sometimes we think that it's demonic thing, which they are. These are predators.
Mm-hmm.
But if say something falls off from the back, because they don't have to have that light on all the time. They can generate the light, or they can shut it down and make it look like an orb. But they'll always have their light facing whatever light or camera, because the predator always hides behind the light. So they'll be in houses, knocking things over, shaking doors, shaking pans if they're trying to get food, try to open your refrigerator, things like that. They will make us think that
we're losing our minds. We keep misplacing.
And that light flickers on and off. And all you have to do with a ceiling fan is just barely, you don't have to make it quick. You just got to barely pull it and it'll shut off.
Little circuit.
So while we're thinking these lights are flickering, this light just went out and I walked into the room, now the light's off again. These things, doing these things to get us tired, so that when we sleep, we're out.
Pesky little spiritual parasite. Little.
Oh. And then you wake up like super tired.
Those annoying shit, they want to wear you out, wear you down, and it's all part of a chain of them. There's a pecking order. But if they can keep you worn out, irritated with each other, what'd you do with my keys? I didn't touch your keys. Yes, you did. I left them right here.
I just had it.
Or I must be going crazy. Now I'm starting to doubt myself because I know that I just set that there. Where'd it go? Or little scratchy noises and things like that.
Someone knocks on your,
often the culprits.
On your door, rings your doorbell, or
trying to lure you out.
Yeah.
When the big predators eat, the little predators eat.
Yeah, these little things, Bigfoots use these things too. You'll see a Bigfoot there, all of a sudden that Bigfoot will go translucent, and all of a sudden this little fairy thing will hit its light and float off, and everybody's going, well, that thing just changed into an orb.
Yeah. It's the only kind of orb there is, but this is what's going on in there. Yeah.
Orbs, if you look at orbs, there's little things inside those balls, little creatures inside the balls. But
sometimes an orb might just look like nothing but a face.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of that.
Yeah. People who astral project, they can also condense their energy down, and that's how they can travel. Or it's condensed energy. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it all goes together.
Yeah.
It
The
does. Yeah.
the blood of Jesus. The remedy
Yes.
is
Oh yeah, and what you said about the fairies moving things and playing with on your mind. Whenever something happens to me and I'm thinking I'm losing my mind, this was here. I pray. I go, dear Heavenly Father, please just show me where my keys are, or show me where this is. Like I can feel myself getting kind of angry. Like what the heck? It was just here, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no. And I'm catching myself, and I'm like, no. I'm like, dear Heavenly Father, please show me where this is. And then I every single time, within a few minutes to 5 minutes, He reveals it to me, and I find it.
Yeah.
exactly right. Your instincts are very, very good.
It took many years and being closer to the Lord. Yeah. But and also what you said about animals, them messing with animals. I don't know what this is, but today, for work today, I was working inside of M's house, and a little bit about him. His mother was a hoarder, and he has a little bit of that, but his house is so bad. And Kay has me helping to clean it. So I was starting by cleaning the ceiling in the mud room. And Logan, I have a light on, like I don't know what it's called, but it's a huge light behind a grill, and you can adjust the tilt of it. So I have it on the ceiling, and it flickers down for a second, and I look at it and I go, that's weird. And Logan comes, he's a house cat, the orange house cat, comes running in the door to see me. And he never does that. Like when I come in the door, he just like looks over like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, but he comes running in and he meows at me. And I go, well, hey, what are you doing? And then he looks and he turns like he wants me to follow him. And he turns back around and he can't sit still. And he does that about, 4 or 5 times. And I go, what's going on? You okay? And I thought for a minute, I'm like, maybe, because the brother is staying here at the house right now. And I was like, maybe he's hurt? Has little Timmy fallen down the well? What's going on? And then the light comes back, and then Logan chases something out of the room. And I'm like, and then I start praying. I just pray first and then ask questions later around this place. Like, no. So that happened today.
Okay.
Have you seen the spiritual house cleansing video we put out?
No, but I want to get it.
I'll link it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you have these little entities, and of course they don't have to glow all the time, they don't have to produce that light. They can still be a translucent. We're not even seeing them. They're hiding behind the lamp, behind the coffee can until they push something, and it's just to try to get us more agitated, to spend more energy, to be exhausted, so that they can feed. Yeah. But these things are there. They go with the Bigfoots. The Bigfoots use these things to trip motion sensors. So you will see these orbs and things around predator Bigfoots because they all get to eat. That little fairy thing is not going to be able to take down even a raccoon, but a Bigfoot will.
Mm-hmm.
And they still get to eat too. So they will help the Bigfoot. They'll trip those alarms. They'll try to coax people out, at nighttime, ringing that doorbell, making a noise, or but though the animals, those are the ones, and the children, those are the ones who are seeing at a lower level as far as height wise. So they see these things easier than what we do, and they do show themselves to animals. The animals, they can kind of tell us, but they are not going to verbally say there's a little. But those animals will try to stay with you, sleep with you, stay in the light. But if they are given a blood sacrifice, because a lot of animals would rather let them feed a little bit and have the rest of the day off than be constantly frightened and things like that, that these dogs will go And some cats will go to an isolated area or a dark area and let these things feed, and then they get to go and do whatever, because these things aren't flying around trying to bite them and agitate them. So these animals, they'll tell us where these things are. And what we do sometimes, if we've had that feeling, we'll get a towel and just swing it around the room and, do things like that, pop it in the air, just, dark areas like that. And it cleans out the area, because if they are little creatures like the what people call fairies, that they're not going to want anybody swinging wildly all over the rooms, because it can hit them, can hurt them, can wound them. And they are carnivores just like everything else. So if they get wounded, they become food too. So they don't, they will avoid that. So they'll get out of your way if you're doing that. But if we kind of say, oh, well, that's just a light figure, that's just, they're going to stay in and try to feed as much as they can, from agitating the little scab or something where we scratch it and we're not bothered anymore, because these things are coming and taking samples or drinking that blood. Same thing with people who used to what they call bloodletting. They would cut themselves to get peace from the things and
sacrificing themselves.
Yeah.
What you were explaining to Callie and her husband last live stream about your home cleansing, and thank you for that link, Lead Tracker E.
You're welcome.
How I've seen people or heard of people taking a broom to the ceiling and sweeping it out the door. Have you heard that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do that too. If we got a broom, we're going. And we had like 3 people with brooms last time, and we was top to bottom, and it was swinging wild, so there was no pattern to it. And then we push it out, then we close that room off and go to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I will definitely watch this.
We're also going to link the tracking outdoor, the spiritual house cleansing video is for the inside, and this is the one for the outside, setting traps. And
tracking in deterrence 101
outside. So I'm going to link that one too.
Okay, thank you. My hands are kind of tied with doing M's house. And I know that somebody practicing witchcraft in the area does not help things. It makes it worse. So, I mean, I can, I've known them for 4 years, and I've had access to the house, and I will do what I can, but, it can only go so far, but at my house, oh yes, it's happening.
So it's been a New Age shop owner for years. Maybe she'll at least know that it's not that it's somebody that will understand why she got into it, or I don't know. Maybe it'll make her a little bit more receptive to what's in the book.
In the house, or do you have like a separate house? Is it a?
I don't live with them. I live separate in the next town over. And,
good.
I don't live with them.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I couldn't. No. Yeah.
So you can do all these things to protect and make sure there's nothing following you home, and you can see how tiny they are now. Why we say poke and scrape every single
little corner.
And another reason to do that. Now I feel like I'm yelling. Another reason to do that is
you guys are so excited. That's all.
Because you'll remember things, you'll see things, and it's like it had been 3 years since I had even thought about. I thought I'd already cleaned out every kind of anything with magical attachment, and then I find this whole package full of photos of when I was painting other gods and goddesses, researching, and here I'm painting, summoning them, doing those kinds of things. Forgot all about that. looking in the
I'm glad the
details.
Holy Spirit showed that to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a camera system on the house because we're getting more populated here, and the homeless population is going up with it. And the cameras more than once have recorded nothing for like 5 minutes, nothing. And then I told you a while ago, I don't know if you remember, that I smelled a sweet strawberry candy smell out back when I was standing there.
Yeah.
That's one of the listed in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So after I smelled that, I went inside and I put a cross on the outside of my back door there in oil. I blessed my door, but I got to do my house because I do not want this stuff here.
No,
No,
not at all.
thank you.
Or
Cleaner you can get your house, and it's okay to leave that light on. I mean, we don't have like a bright light like this on.
yeah, I think the impression.
You guys are like rotisserie chickens in the light.
That's like it's real. It's like, we
dark
can't
want
with,
to.
yeah, if we want to. Pressure or something, we get up and we check it out. Hear a noise, find a noise. I guess you'd say.
In those dark corners.
Yeah.
And that, if they're cleaning out that hoarding, that you're helping them with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the hoarding,
and those are hiding places too.
Sure is.
Mm. Oh, he's a very angry man. M is. He's got anger issues, and the house is heavy, and I don't like going in there. But I pray over it, and I pray over myself, and I just don't want that following me home. But there definitely is something in there.
Yeah, and she's making matters worse.
Yeah. But I think Logan came in and helped me today. I really do. He chased something off or did something. I don't know. That was weird.
Hey, whenever the cats do that again, grab a broom and just start swinging wherever the cats look.
Okay, I will.
I was with some friends one time, and I'd seen something move out of the corner of my eye, and I could still kind of see that there was something there. And I told some friends, I said, hey, everybody watch this. And I was just sitting there, and I jumped up and kind of like, you know how you heard something.
Yeah.
I was going like this, except I was going back and forth like. And there was a sack. I mean, there was, because we had some what's it called? Redemption stuff, or you had your cans, your plastics, and your glass.
Oh, recycling.
Yeah, and so doing that, and something ran into a pile of cans and knocked the cans.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And I said, "Get out! And start swinging that."
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, and they all went like, "Whoa!" You know?
Yeah, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I'm like, here we go.
She got into that witchcraft for a reason. People don't just do that lightly. She got in there because she either wants to protect herself from something, or there's some kind of reason, and maybe you can get her to reflect on exactly why. You just want to
we're just
drawn in, into her.
Yeah. No. Oh, no. No, I'm with God now, and I will never go back. I've never practiced with that stuff because it just seemed silly to me when I was younger. Like, it's very silly. I didn't think you could do that. And then I met my cousin, who was an actual one, and I'm like, this is evil. I don't care how you spin it. And then to give somebody that power and they're broken, if they just get jilted, they can do things in the spirit world with that. That's wrong. I'm sorry. Somebody shouldn't have that power outside of someone who can dictate that perfectly, which is God. That's my take on it. But I'm just now coming to the point with Kay that I'm kind of hinting, not hinting, I am hinting. I'm hinting that I know that she's pagan, and she's, you know, I'm a Christian. She knows that, but with this paranormal, it's not paranormal, but with this predator stuff that's going on, and I guess it is, it's odd, Kara, but God can use that as an opening to maybe lead that to, you know, a witness, I guess, or because she pretends, like she goes, oh, you know, let's pray for lunch. And I appreciate that. And I will pray over my food, but she'll pray with me. But I think she's kind of trying to hide it, you know. But we're just now talking about that. It's almost like the elephant in the room that she doesn't want to talk about. But yes, this is happening, and I will talk to her, and I'll keep you guys posted as to what happens and what events are going to take place. So
good news is that she's upset about those crosses. She doesn't get upset about the praying.
I was surprised at that. Yeah,
so
I was.
Hey, when I was a witch, I was even, if somebody talked bad about Jesus, I was like, hey, not around me. You're not gonna, you know. And it was so weird that I could be so deceived at the same time, but I knew I loved Jesus. I just didn't love. I think it was Gandhi that said, "I love you, Jesus. I just don't
like the Christians."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, you know.
Oh, I think he's in heaven. Gandhi.
I know so many wonderful Christians through this, but in personal life, it took me a long time to find good ones.
Sadly, I understand. You know, I come across in this field, you're going to come across a lot of people that pretend they're Christians and then they're just not. And by their fruits, you will know them.
That's right. And there can be people sitting in a church casting spells just as easy and not even realize it. You know, I mean, it can be a sweet little Baptist lady that's just got a grudge giving the evil eye and not even realize with her gossip or insinuations or just bad energy that she's doing witchcraft, trying to control or manipulate people, you know. And on the opposite too, there's wonderful people too. We just got to pray that we all find wonderful friends. And even Callie, her area too, it is better when you can meet in person with people and have a local support. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm with you guys in class, it's so refreshing because I work all day with non-saved, you know, secular people, and I do love them, you know, but it's just a whole different level, like a whole deeper level being with Christians. It's just so refreshing. But so
and happy, you know what I mean?
Happier, it's deeper. Mm-hmm.
But they're not living in fear. It seems like there's two different kinds. They're either in la la land and don't want to admit anything's going on.
That's okay.
They know something's going on and they're living in fear and look just like the rest of the world anyway.
Oh,
you know, there be a balance, folks. You know,
I tell some people, like I told M this because he was kind of making a jab at Christians and stuff and going to church, and I was like, well, you know, and I was like, I've met some pretty fake people in church, but on the flip side of that coin, I've met some of the most beautiful people on the face of the earth in church.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you got to pray for discernment.
It depends on the individuals, and sometimes individuals on which they are, you know, are they at. So
yeah.
3.5 hours.
I was gonna. We're at 3.5 hours.
Where did it go?
But I was also wanting to ask you how the book has helped you, and from just knowing about cryptids and what you learn from, and most people learn about cryptids on YouTube channels or stories, but you were kind of just exposed to it, right? With
Like, how did you even find us or find the book or?
not search.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It kind of cut out, or I did. I'm here. I found you guys. I was subscribed, or am still subscribed to PRT, and Wolf had you on during that whole drama with those jerks that was messing with you guys. And I was like, oh my goodness, and I went to your channel and I was like, that's interesting. I'll find out more. And then I read the description and I was like, oh, this is so cool. You know, I want to be a tracker. And I was like, oh, they do predators too. I'm like, that could be really useful because I have experience with them. And then I joined the class and I was like, oh my goodness. And I've learned the biggest thing that I can learn. I can learn so much, and I still am. But the biggest thing that really just shocked me was the Choctaw story of time, and then how the hieroglyphs fall, and it all pieces together. And I was like, my mind is blown. I was like, oh my goodness, of course, this all makes sense. And I wanted to ask you, the Devil's Tower, that's a tree, isn't it?
Yeah, they had to cut it down.
I knew it was. And the story of the bear, what First Nations people has that story?
I know a lot of Abenaki, but a lot of clans have it, but like this story hasn't been really shared. It's like an old that a lot of people don't even know, and a lot of tribes don't even know this story. Wow.
I mean, that makes sense, and that goes into the puzzle too. The great bear chasing the evil from coming down. That makes so much sense. And I've always looked at that structure and said, that looks like a tree. I don't care what you say. That looks like a petrified tree to me.
For the people that get upset, as a matter of fact, the person you'd mentioned earlier that caused trouble, they were very upset about the Native American and the Christian beliefs. Well, the Native Americans had to have a way to explain something before the Bible was introduced to them.
Mm-hmm.
This is their, the way they were explaining what they were seeing and what was going on in their oral traditions. And if people would see how there's so much overlap in all these, and then take it back to the Bible. And if you don't, you pray about it, ask for discernment. And if it doesn't align with what you see in the Bible, then let that go. But if it does, you keep it. I mean, that's how we do it. Yeah.
I mean, and it pays to sit and put yourself aside and think about it. Just think about it. Mull it over, and then pieces fall together. The more you think about it, things are deeper than just your existence, and that's just the way it is, But
that is a cover up in medical, in movies, in every other kind of arena, science, whatever. They can accept there's a cover up there, but if you try to tell them there's a cover up as in regards to these monsters, you're a loon. They think you're a loon. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. We know the truth, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we do.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or any final words that you would like to say to anyone?
Oh, yeah. What was interesting is when I was emailing you all the pictures, my phone did 2 updates, and then my JPG image file, which is a typical image file, transferred to an HEIF, which is a high efficiency image file. And it doesn't translate over email. And I thought that was interesting. So what I had to do with every photo I sent you is I had to edit it, save it as a JPG, and then send it to you.
Yeah.
So I had to find the loophole to get that to you.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried. They failed.
There's another way.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, but thank you everyone for listening. And I'm so sorry. I never verbalized this. And I know that I'm not good at speaking. I'm not as good as Callie. Callie is so good at articulating. And I was like, yes, I want to speak like her. But I thank everyone for listening. And thank you for having me on here. And I'm learning so much from you guys. And thank you again.
And
thank you
so,
for being a great student, and you did great.
well, there's viewers. Let's
We'll
go
run
through the comments and
You've
see.
got time?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
did the time pass so fast? It's
I
crazy.
know. Callie says, not Cyrus. I had the lots in my bedroom window too. It's in my outline during Lake Tracker E. I just didn't go over it. Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we saw we skipped a couple of things, but we're gonna have you back too.
Yeah. So those
Yeah,
things are
so much.
those things are happening there too. She said it looked crazy to her when that happened. Dave's Cryptid Adventures is here.
War Criminal, were you
Southpaw.
in here when we called everyone earlier? If not,
We said hello.
glad you're here. It gets a little confusing after so many names. Oh yeah, we ran through these.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, facing the window. We're through all this.
Okay.
Ace Banner.
Ace Banner, 007.
Logic, High Logic. People are saying
Where's
High Logic.
Where's Logic?
Where'd Logic
Did I
come
miss
in? Logic, we missed your entrance, but hello. Dave, this is the second time I've seen something captured in a reflection. The last one looked like a dog man demon mix. Yeah, those reflection surfaces. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scott says, time to move. No resolution here, given the owner's involvement with darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're glad she doesn't actually live there. So that's
No.
we thought you lived on the property.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. No.
Good, because in that's the case. I mean, where are you going to go to work? For the most part, that there aren't demons and things around that you're going to have to deal with.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've worked in some places where the people were just conduits
Sure.
of the
Yeah.
enemy, and
Yeah.
it was a spirit. That was a what is that called? My work, my ministry field right there, and it was hard.
I was fixing to say it could be this is your mission field right here.
Yeah.
The Lord will tell you that. Bernard says, just wanted to say thanks at Night Stars. Thanks for sharing your experiences.
Thanks, Bernard.
Callie says there was something that happened at the door before that. And she says, I can definitely identify. Bernard says, October 31st of 23, put a mug in the microwave for 1 minute, left the room, small apartment space. I noticed microwave was not running. 28 seconds in, went to look, open microwave, no mug. Turned around, mug was on my bench 3 feet away. Wow, I got chills on.
There you go. They're putting the stuff in your place.
Interesting. And on Halloween, on Samhain.
Yeah.
Kelly said, yes, my raccoon is missing.
Oh, wow.
Aww.
The spiritual house cleansing video.
Yeah, y'all grab that link if you don't already have it. The owner has authority over the property. Ultimately, yeah. And War Chief says, and Jerry shot off one of those Choctaw yells and scares everyone for a square mile.
Yeah.
He loves an excuse to do that.
Yeah.
War Chief. Kelly says, lead tracker E, by practicing witchcraft, did you see and experience what you are warning us about, the predators? But my whole life I've seen different spirits and things, but as far as the predator Bigfoot, no, that wasn't until years later, and I had already given up I had already repented of the witchcraft by then. It was just plain I was in the woods constantly. War Chief says God was and is the great creator. Amen. Kelly hollered, "Hey, Belle." Southpaw says, "Thank you, Night Stars." Mary says, "Sweet young lady." Callie says, "Thank you, Night Stars. I'd much rather have your beautiful voice." And I heard someone when you first started, I had typed up there, I didn't hear them, I saw it. They said, "You have a beautiful voice."
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so nervous. Thank you.
Spoken, you did great.
Oh, you did great.
Great personality. Lorna says, "Thank you, Night Stars, for sharing info and pictures. Was awesome."
Oops, sorry.
Night Star says, "Thank you, everybody. I'm still
Hey,
nervous.
there's Night Stars.
I'm going to tell you."
See what you say.
Jody says, "Absolutely riveting. Thank you, Night Stars. Great guest."
Wow.
War Chief says, "Night Stars, you're a beautiful person with a great attitude and a great interviewee."
Oh, yeah.
Great. Callie says, "Thank you so much for sharing, Night Stars." Graybeard says, "Thanks for sharing your story and pics, Night Stars." Callie says, "Oh yes, the book. Jerry had to come." Lupita says, "Good night, Ella and Jerry. Good investigation."
Oh, yeah.
Gracias,
Lots
Lupita.
of-
Thank you. Thank
lots
you.
of information.
Good to see you. Is that it?
Yeah, everyone was just listening. I like that.
Yeah, they were really good.
Thank
So,
you, everyone.
go ahead and pray.
Let's have you if is there anything that you would like to say to someone who may be in your same situation, or because there's other people listening, not just the people in chat, but there's other people in your situation, but if you'd like to kind of give some advice to them, this would be great.
Yeah. Stay plugged into the Word and keep your relationship with God number one above all things. That is what's important. Everything else you can't take with you. And the enemy is tricky, and he can get to you in ways that you can't even think of. So keep God first.
Perfect. We agree. Couple more. War Chief says, "Thank you, Night Stars." Lorna says, "God bless everyone. Be safe. Have a great night." And thank you again, Lorna. And Lorna says, "Hi, Mary." War Chief says, "I don't know what." Throw his hands up. Maybe he's doing, I don't know. Hey, let's do this.
Ditto.
Good job. We're going to give you.
Yay! Thank you.
This is
Yeah.
Oh, want to hear something funny? I showed my boyfriend a picture of the translucent behind Jerry, you know, his profile picture, and he goes, that's a trick of the camera." And I was like, these sweet folk just learned how to make thumbs up like firecrackers on live stream. There's no way.
It's not super editing program.
I'm like, there's no way.
When they say FBI,
There'll be no say it CGI.
Oh, CGI. See?
See?
That is no real good.
Point in case, rested. Thank you, Jerry.
Have a great night. Okay, say a prayer before we lose anyone else so we can cover tonight. Father, we thank you. We absolutely love what we do. We love the path that you have us on. We love the people that you have brought into our lives, Lord. And we love the fact that you would allow the things that we've learned the hard way, Lord. The fact that you allow us to be able to use that information to help others. Oh man, what a relief, and what a way to, I don't know about how Jerry feels, but what a way for me to be able to redeem myself for the damage that I did when I led people astray unknowingly, thinking that I knew what I was doing and thinking that I was cool. And I thank you, Lord, for forgiving me for that. And I will forever be sorry for that. And I know that I'm already forgiven, but I will still always be ashamed of that. And I just love you for loving me. And let everyone get a good night's rest. We pray your hand of covering over Callie, over Night Stars. We pray also, Lord, for Night Stars bosses. Give her insight into how to handle that situation, Lord. Put other people in the area that can maybe help her to reach these people, Lord. The Holy Spirit can do anything. And I know that I had friends that were diehard witches that are now Christians, Lord, that nobody ever would have thought. And they follow our channel, and they follow the Lead Tracker e-page, and they love you too now, Lord, and they've turned away from those ways. We don't give up on people, and we thank you. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name, amen. One of my favorite quotes I want to leave you guys with is from Beatrix Potter. She did Peter Rabbit. She says, believe there is a great power silently working all things for good. Behave yourself and never mind the rest.
I love it. The first mural I ever got painted, paid for painting, was a Beatrix Potter. The whole room was.
Oh my gosh. I want to see pictures of that. That's cute.
I don't have them anymore, but if I ever come across them like an old Facebook memory or something, I'll
oh, how
send
cute.
them to you.
Yeah.
Beatrix. Saw the book, you saw it?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. You're black.
No. Everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. I was just going to say that for the tracker training course candidates class, the course tomorrow, everyone kind of knows what we're going over tomorrow. That's at 6:30 p.m. Central Time Zone, and we do have we did our tracker training, tracker maintenance. So tomorrow, just the course. Get ready for that. We're going to be doing some night vision, thermal, weapon training, and extra things to listen for while we're out in the field. So we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Night Stars especially, we'll see you there in the classroom tomorrow.
I will be there.
Thank you.
All y'all better show up too.
Yes.
Before y'all leave, will you please hit like and sub and set your alert? Get us into the algorithm so that more people can be helped with this information. So we don't want to be a huge channel, but we would like to be
share the
organically
information.
Growing channel.
Yeah, share it.
To help.
Everyone,
yes,
not alone.
Yeah. Good night.
10-4.
Grab those
Good
links,
night.
or check both channels for those links to in the chat.
Good night, Night Stars.
Good night, everyone. God bless. Sweet dreams. No dreams. No dreams.
We'll see everybody again very soon.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to try to find someone that's lost in the woods. Y'all say a prayer.